the 19, Connor Morrell out of Bradenton, Florida in the 28M. Todd King out of Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin, IRA runner, joining us on the tour now. Came over last night in that number 47. Trey Jacobs out of Worcester, Ohio in the number 9. Has a feature win at the Fremont Speedway this season. This young man is starting to turn heads in wing racing. Began his career in non-wing racing in the number 34. From Tempe, Arizona, now calls Franklin, Indiana home, Sterling Kling, with Mikey Kemper turning the wrenches. That black number 29 out of Fremont, Ohio, DJ Foose. DJ Foose in the black 29. Zane DeVault, 3 wins on the season. Back-to-back wins at Fremont Speedway 2 weeks ago. Out of Plymouth, Indiana, and that lane racing number 4, and picked up a win at the Butler Speedway up in Quincy, Michigan earlier this year. Zeth Sabo out of Fremont, Ohio in the white and blue number 29. Lee Jacobs in the number 87 out of Worcester, Ohio. Creed Kemenall, the 15K. Creed's been in the dash the first 2 nights of Speedweek. Led a lot of laps over at Attica Raceway Park on Friday night. The teenager from Elveda, Ohio. Casey Jetterzek out of LaGrange, Ohio in the Ed Neumeister number 11N. Ricky Peterson from Rawson, Ohio in the number 2. Late arrival in the Bryan Grove Racing number 45 out of Raymond, Washington. That is Devin Borden. Devin Borden coming off a top 5 run at the Port Royal Speedway in central Pennsylvania last night. He does have 1 win in 2024, and that coming in April at Port Royal. Mike Keegan in Car X out of Fremont, Ohio. One of the many Australians with us this week, Brock Hallett in the 5AU out of Victoria, Australia. Brock, the 2023 Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic champion. McKenna Hassey in the number 55. McKenna calls Greenwood, Indiana home now, but she's formerly out of Des Moines, Iowa. Tim Schaefer led the first 3 laps last night before the rains came. The Hall of Famer in the number 49X out of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. Greg Wilson, a solid top 2 run at Attica on opening night of Speed Week, and that W20 down the backstretch out of Benton Ridge, Ohio. Cale Thomas having a really good season. Pair of wins at Attica, 1 at Fremont out of Fairland, Indiana, and the Jake Kaiser Racing number 23. Chris Myers out of Caldwell, Ohio, and that number 25 just shoving out. Skylar G out of Leduc, Alberta, Canada in the number 99 with a win this season as well. Jake Hessen out of Marysville, Ohio, and that 5J. Stuart Brubaker out of Fremont, Ohio in the number 35. Yeah, an engine heat going on for the 42 TI-22 Performance Fast on Dirt Series competitors tonight. In 3 nights, we're averaging 50 cars on average. 53 at Attica, 55 at Fremont, and 42 here at Waynesfield. Reminds us of the old days of Speed Week, which began in 1983 when promoter Earl Baldus and the heads of the All-Star Circuit of Champions, Bert Emick and Gene Lynch, sat down. Earl Baldus had the idea to showcase the tracks in Ohio, and he had several that he was a promoter of at that time, and the cars and stars of the state of Ohio. 6 races on that opening year in 1983. Steve Kinzer won 5 of them, but did not win the championship because he didn't pre-register. Bobby Davis Jr. was crowned the Speed Week champion. When you look at the 42 years of Ohio Sprint Speed Week, it reads like a who's who of Hall of Famers. You got the Jacobs brothers, Kenny and Dean. You've got Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang with victories, Kyle Larson with victories, Rico Abreu with a win. Doug Wolfgang with wins. Jack Hodenshield, Sammy Swindell, all winners during Ohio Sprint Speed Week. Tim Schaefer, of course, many-time Speed Week champion. Danny Lasowski, Craig Delansky, Darren Pittman, Tony Stewart, Dale Blaney, Dave Blaney, all winners during Ohio Sprint Speed Week. Steve Kinzer did come back in 1984 and win the Speed Week title. The legendary Jack Hewitt won the Sprint Speed Week title in 1985. Bobby Allen took the title in 1986. Keith Kaufman in 87. Jimmy Sills in 88. Dave Blaney 89. Sammy Swindell back-to-back in 90 and 91. Then it became the Kevin Huntley and Frankie Kerr deal for 3 years. Dale Blaney snuck a win in there, and then Frankie Kerr again in 1996. But again, the who's who, Stevie Smith in the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Last Speed Week show here, Kyle Larson was the victor. 2021, it's been, Jerry Keyser telling me it's been 3 years since 410s, 2 years. 2 years since 410s have been at the field.
Well, that's right, Brian. We had the Rick Fickle Classic here in 2022 with Tyler Courtney picking up the win in the now gone All-Star Circuit of Champions, but they live on in spirit, that's for sure.
And what a season Tyler Courtney's having. Chatted with him a couple weeks ago. because I was doing a story for Speed Sport on Speedweek, and he was the defending Speedweek champion. And what a year! What a past 4 or 5 years actually for Tyler.
Absolutely, the Clausen Marshall Motorsports team at second to none, and Tyler Courtney, just one of the good guys of the sport. You love seeing him have such a great run, and like to see it continue for years to come. Looks like we're starting to move some of the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. Just a reminder, race fans, if you have an FM radio with you, you can tune in to hear all the racing action on 87.8 on the FM dial. With that, we're going to turn it over to the voice of the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets, Christian Dunn.
Thanks, Jerry. Group number 1 on track now for the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. These are the drivers who will be in Performance Electronics Heat Race number 1. What we have left to decide is the order in which they will start. So as I was mentioning earlier, we will group qualify. So these are the drivers who will be in Heat Race number 1. Drivers on the racetrack out of Russia, Ohio, driving the Sniper Racing, LT Siding and Window, Napa Auto Parts of Bryan, Ohio, VMS Motorsports, Emerson Cigar Lounge. It's the 0H of Bryce Dews. Bryce Dews in the 0H. Car number 14, a new driver with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. That's Keith Owsley in car number 14. Out of Zanesville, Indiana, driving the Boxel Merkler Racing, Spike Chassis, Bennick Enterprise, Engler, Simpson, Motorcraft, Lynn Cook, Midwest Dyno Service, Indy Racing Images. It's the 44JB of Jacob Boxel. Jacob Boxel in the 44JB. Out of Anna, Ohio, driving the Thrill Seeker LLC, Briggs Farms, Russell Moore, Superior Bearing Supply, Ashley Elizabeth Photography, Rosewood Machine and Tool, Patrick's Pub and Grill, White's Honda and Toyota. It's the 71B of Stratton Briggs. Stratton Briggs in the 71B. Out of Delphus, Ohio, driving the Interstate Truck Source, Advanced Building Corporation, Ollie's Mobile Repairs, Helking International, National Warehouse Logistics, Cisco Realty, Steam Realty, M&M Autos, Blings and Things, American Dream Autosport. It's the 55 of Paige Perrine. Paige Perrine in the 55. Out of Cedarville, Ohio, driving the Irwin Chrysler, Team Taylor Racing. It's the 11T of Ryan Fleming. Ryan Fleming in the 11T. Out of Troy, Ohio, driving the White Hat Industrial, Harlow Builders, Primary Eye Care, Car Bright, Certipro Painters. It's the 55S of Braden Schwartz. Braden Schwartz in the 55S. Final car in Performance Electronics Heat Race number 1 qualifying out of Troy, Ohio, driving the Summit Industrial Flooring, Car Bright, State Farm Creative Labels, Double J Construction, Flyer Life Groups, Roofs Painting, American Advanced Assemblies. It's the 35 of B-Mass, Bryce Massengill. Bryce Massengill in the 35. Bryce Massengill, that yellow and blue. Number 35 heading into turn number 4. Two-time runner-up with the series, 14 career wins with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. And then if you were here for our race back in April, Stratton Briggs got upside down in turns 3 and 4. Stratton Briggs in a new car, that white number 71 heading into turn number 4 as we are getting ready to go green for Performance Electronics Heat Race number 1 qualifying. USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets will take 3 laps under the green flag. Qualifying is presented by VMS Motorsports. Stratton Briggs quickest so far with a 13.310 as the white flag comes out in qualifying group number 1. So quickest in Group 1 qualifying, it's the 71 of Stratton Briggs with a 13.301, 13301. Jacob Boxell second quick with a 13.597. Bryce Massengill third quick. Ryan Fleming fourth quick. Bryce Deuce fifth quick. Braden Schwartz sixth. Seventh quick was the 55 of Paige Perrine. And Keith Ousley was eighth quick. So again, even though we qualify only against the drivers in our group, we do present an award at the end of the night to the overall quick time qualifier presented by VMS. That time is currently held by Stratton Briggs with a 13.301 as group number 2 comes out onto the racetrack.
I'm trying. We got latecomers that need transponders. Latecomers that need transponders.
Group number 2.
I'm checking.
These are the drivers in Stifel Home and Auto Heat Race number 2. And again, we will invert the top 4 qualifiers. First car on the racetrack out of Ottawa, Ohio, driving the Heitzman Family Farms, Hancock Wood Electric Cooperative Angola Screen Printing. It's a 01 of Ryan Moran. Ryan Moran in the 01. Out of Findlay, Ohio, driving the Brian Brigham Home Improvements, Injector Experts, Smoky Designs by Andy, Napa Auto Parts of Bryan, Ohio, AngryDuck.com, Schley Products, Inc. It's the X of Andy Martin. Andy Martin in car number X. Out of Brookville, Ohio, driving the Advanced Racing Suspensions, Clayton Auto Parts, Dwayne Nybert Custom Trailers. It's the 7M of Cole Morgan. Cole Morgan in the 7M. Newcomer with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets, and car number 40 is Jason Schaefer. Jason Schaefer in the 40. Out of Waterford, Michigan, driving the CP Mobile Shrink Wrap, Fedora Truck Racing, Terrell Electric, Haslick Trucking, Matrix Designs, Metro Lakes, 17 Fab Tops and Property Services. It's the 49P of Carl Peterson. Carl Peterson, P. EM Auto Recyclers, Pitts and Burger Supply, T Graphics Helmet Painting, Kurtz Ford and Lincoln, Rustic Cafe, Serenity and Speed Photography, VMS, Speed Photography, Bell Helmets. It's the 22 of Gunnar Lucius. Gunnar Lucius in the 22. Out of Dillsboro, Indiana, join the Fedora Check Racing, Carvings by Joe Whitler, Rubber Band Wallet, CP Mobile Shrink Wrap. It's the 21 of Kayla Rell. Kayla Rell in the 21. And out of Pigwell, Ohio, car number 10, it's Thomas Briggs. Again, these are the drivers in Stifel Home and Auto Heat Race number 2. As the green flag comes out with the 7M of Cole Morgan. Gunnar Lucius currently quickest in group number 2 with a 13.861. Stratton Briggs remains quickest overall. Checkered flag for Stifel Home and Auto Heat Race number 2. Qualifying quickest in that group was the 22 of Gunnar Lucius, 4th quick overall with a 13.801. Kayla Rell, 5th quick overall with a 13.905. Ryan Fleming, 6th quick. So top 3 fastest so far are from group number 1. That's Stratton Briggs with the time to beat for VMS Motorsports Quick Time Qualifier Award. That's a 13.301. Jacob Boxell still 2nd quick. Bryce Massengill 3rd. Third and final group of qualifying on track now for the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. Heat race number 3. Drivers are presented by Hoosier Auto Race Fans. Here are the drivers to take time for Hoosier Auto Race Fans Group number 3 qualifying out of Ludlow Falls, Ohio. Driving the Heitmeyer Concrete, Ohio Logistics, Hawk Racing is the 74 of Luke Hall. Luke Hall in the 74. Out of Findlay, Ohio, making his midget debut, driving the CW&R Motorsports, Warlick Enterprises, Stump Monkey Customs. It's the 7R of Larry Rice. Larry Rice in the 7R. Out of Cox Creek, Kentucky, driving car number 10, it's Chet Gerke. Chet Gerke in car number 10. Out of Greencastle, Indiana, last Friday night's winner, driving the Curb Records, TJ Forge, FK Roddins, Impact Racing, Competition Suspension Racing Optics, Neil Tire. It's the 63 of Cale Coons. Cale Coons in the 63. Out of Columbus, Ohio, driving the Hinchman Uniforms, Locked In Benefits, it's the 3E of Alex Watson. Alex Watson in the 3E. Out of Manila, Indiana, driving the Aerial Solutions, Navita Solutions, Michiana Tree Works, U.S. Lawns of Terre Haute, Urban Air, Ultimate Predator Boats, Paradise Pools, Peak Performance Gym, Cated Wells Racing. It's the 5 of Matt Lux. Matt Lux in car number 5. Out of Covington, Ohio, driving the Brewhouse Drive-Thru, Donner's Bay Resort, Sidex Performance Powder Coating 36. It's Ian Krieger. Ian Krieger in car number 36. Out of Rushville, Indiana, driving the Market Street Auto King Garage, ASC Graphics, Linda and Paul Peterson is the 34 of Tate Martz. Tate Martz in the 34. Final driver is the 32 of Tyler Kaub. Tyler Kaub going into turn number 1. He's in car number 32, and these are the drivers in the final group of qualifying in VMS Motorsports qualifying for the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. Again, Cale Coons in car number 63 picked up the win last Friday night at Moeller Raceway Park for his second career win with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. And, of course, Luke Hall in car number 74. A lot of wins here at Waynesfield Raceway Park, a former track champion as well. Matt Lux, a veteran race car driver, but last year's Rookie of the Year with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. Has 2 wins at Eldora Speedway as well as a win at Lincoln Park Speedway. Alex Watson pulling into the infield. Matt Lux, second quick overall with a 13.460. Came up on a slower car that first lap. We'll see what he could do on this second lap. It's a little bit more clean. He goes quick time for Matt Lux, a 13.168, 13168 for the 5 of Matt Lux. Off the turn number 4, see if Matt Lux can go quicker. He doesn't. Second lap best at a 13.168. So quickest in that group and quickest overall out of Manila, Indiana, it's the 5 of Matt Lux with his second VMS QuickTime Qualifying Award of the season with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. So that concludes our qualifying session. Turn things back over to Brian Lisky with the Fast Series.
Thank you so much, Christian. 42 cars strong tonight. They'll get hot laps, and then they'll come out and qualify 2 cars each. 2 laps will take the quickest. They'll qualify against the cars in their heat set. 29M is being scored tonight is Logan McCandless out of Mercer, Pennsylvania. The 22-year-old driver of the McCandless Ford, McCandless Trailer Sales, Priest Enterprises, High Performance Lubricants, CarMate Trailers, number 29. Travis Philo, the 5T out of Waterville, Ohio. The 33-year-old driver of the Controlled Design Solutions, Tire Slick, Banshee Graphics, Columbus Equipment, Berryman Racing, Shocks, number 5T. 47 of Todd King out of Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin. And the BMRE Electric Carts are Braun Incorporated, St. Nick's Chimney and Foundation, Redline, number 47. The 4-star is Tyler Street out of Frederickstown, Ohio. The 25-year-old driver of the Bandit Logistics, Mules Hauling, M. Miller Construction, Schaefer's Oil, Berryman Racing, Shocks, Mount Vernon, Buckeye, Auto Care, number 4-star. The 5AU down the backstretch, Brock Hallett out of Victoria, Australia. The 32-year-old driver of the GW Racing, All-Star Graphics, J&S Drilling, Kaiser Wheels, number 5AU. Sterling Kling out of Tempe, Arizona, in the number 34. The 27-year-old driver of the Sterling Kling Racing, Bird Racing, DRC chassis, number 34. Devin Borden in the number 45. Out of Raymond, Washington, and that Canton Erectors Brian Grove Racing sponsored machine. The one of Nate Dussel, former fast champion with a fast win this season in Muskingum County Speedway. Out of Bradner, Ohio, the 34-year-old driver of the Industrial Movers, S&S Hauling. Fawsey Farms, New Farm, VRF Specialties, Barrier Fabrication, Real Geese Decoys, A-Plus Auto Center, number 1. Greg Wilson in the W20, former Speedweek and two-time All-Star champion out of Benton Ridge, Ohio. Greg, 49 years of age, in the Hercules Tires, Ohio Logistics, DNC Hydraulics, Heitmeyer Concrete, number W20. Double D, Danny Dietrich out of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. In car number 48, the Weikert's Livestock, Derek Snyder, Self-Made Racing, RV, four-wheel drive, and Performance York Excavating, Sandoz Fruit Market, number 48 of Danny Dietrich. The number 28 here on the front stretch of Connor Morrell out of Bradenton, Florida, the 20-year-old driver of the Tub of Towels, Amalie Oil, All-Star Performance, TI-22 Performance, Cox Chevrolet, Hooker Harnesses, number 28M. So Nate Dussel in that number 1 car, quickest in that first hot lap group at a 10:8.94. Devin Borden in the 45-second quick at 11:0.26. Danny Dietrich, your third quickest in hot laps in car 48 at 11:0.45. Brock Hallett, Connor Morrell, your top 5 in speeds for the first set of hot laps. Next flight of hot laps rolling out. This will be heat race number 2 when they qualify. Caleb Henry in the 101 out of Roseville, California, the Running Boxer Farms, Harris Distributing, Valvoline Oil, K1 Race Gear, Berryman Racing Shocks, Chalk Sticks, 101. Dwayne Zablocki out of Tiffin, Ohio, in the family-owned number 9Z. Dwayne, 40 years of age, in the Burns Electric, Carmi's Restaurant, Ohio Osteopathic Institute, Integrity Auto and Truck Sales, number 9Z. Paul Dews out of Minster, Ohio, in car number 87. In the CarQuest, Hemmelgarn Services, number 87. The 71H down the backstretch of Mad Max Stambaugh, Lima, Ohio, the 28-year-old driver of the Smiths Motorsports. Just Doug Salon, Lochinvar, Sunrise Archery, Jim Coffey and Sons Heating and Plumbing for the two-time and defending Great Lakes Super Sprints champion. Trey Jacobs, car number 9 out of Worcester, Ohio. The 32-year-old driver of the Harbaugh Electronics, Steve Brown's B&B Drain Service, Holmes Cheese Company, Smithville Manufacturing, Vibezo, Burgett Insurance, Brent Kaufman Trucking, number 9. Making the tow over from Knoxville, Iowa, in the number 22, down the backstretch, Riley Goodnow. Riley Goodnow in the number 22. The 21-year-old driver of the Quality Traffic Control, Stivers Ford Lincoln, Schilling Excavating, number 22, Mike Keegan, Car X. Out of Fremont, Ohio, the 23-year-old driver of the Level Utilities, PL Mendick Trucking, John Wright's Custom Chrome Plating, Fremont Fence, Liberty Tax, Gill Construction, X-Car. Casey Jetterzek and Ed Neumeister, number 11N, out of LaGrange, Ohio, the 19-year-old driver of the Mr. Heater, Heat Star, Cherry's Outdoor World, Cherry's Propane, Team Line 'em Up, Heitmeyer Concrete, number 11N. Chris Myers in the number 25, hitting into turn number 3 out of Coldwell, Ohio, in the Pine Tree Towing and Recovery, D&D Automotive, Valley View Hills Winery, Fisher Engines, number 25. DJ Foose and Rich Farmer own number 29 out of Fremont, Ohio. In the Napa Auto Parts, Limousine Services, Level Utilities, Kaiser Sound sponsored, number 29. Problems for Paul Dews. Upside down, DJ Foose in turn 2. DJ Foose, normally the driver of the Burmeister, number 16. DJ Foose normally in the Burmeister 16. They had some work doing that car, so Rich Farmer put him in a second car tonight. And upside down in turns 1 and 2. Also in this hot lap session, Cale Thomas at number 23 sitting outside of turn 2 out of Fairland, Indiana, and Jay Kaiser Racing entry. He is 26 years of age. And the Spanky's Pizza, Chaluk's Bar and Grill, Automatic Fire Protection, Ohio Refrigeration, Ohio Heating, Engler Machine, BH41, TMH Holdings, Berryman Racing Shocks, Kaiser Wheels. He's got a pair of wins at Attica Raceway Park and one at Fremont. Currently leads the points at both Fremont Speedway, Attica Raceway Park, and with the Attica Fremont Championship Series. Welcome those at home watching on FloRacing this evening. FloRacing will carry tomorrow night's event at Wayne County Speedway, Tuesday at the Amish Hilltop Speedway. Wednesday night over at Sharon Speedway, Dirt Vision rejoins us. Thursday at Muskegum on FloRacing. Friday at the Millstream Speedway in Findlay, Ohio on Dirt Vision. And Saturday, the 10,000 to win Speedweek finale at Atomic Speedway on FloRacing. Current top 10 in points for the 42nd Annual Ohio Sprint Speed Week. Cap Henry has a 22-point lead over Zeth Sabo. Emerson Axum sits third. Ricky Peterson fourth. Trey Jacobs and Greg Wilson tied for fifth. Caleb Henry is seventh. Creed Kemenaugh eighth. Dylan Norris ninth. And Sterling Kling and Connor Morrell tied for 10th in the Speed Week points. Looking at the replay, DJ just got into turn 1. There's a little dip there. The cars kind of bounce around, and he got into that dip. The car took one big bounce, and over it went. Not necessarily driver error at all, just part of racing. Not really a rut in turn 1. It's almost like there's just a little ridge, and they hit it, and the car starts to bounce a little bit.
I want to wish a happy birthday to Rex Lejeune. Rex Lejeune in the house with us tonight. Glad to have Rex with us.
It doesn't matter when Speed Week is. It's always Rex's birthday. This is one of the earliest, if not the earliest, Ohio Sprint Speed Week has taken place, and it's mysteriously Rex's birthday.
Amazingly enough, and, you know, glad to celebrate with him every time.
You know, if that's the case, Rex should be like 110 years old.
Well, I wasn't going to, I never give a, I was going to say a lady's age, but that don't work out very well, does it?
Rex has tried to retire now for the past 2 seasons, and they bring him back at Attica Raceway Park to teach lessons to the youngsters.
And a very good person to have teaching those lessons, for sure.
Hey, going back real quick to the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets, have to give a quick shout out to Rosewood Machine and Tool, a series sponsor of ours as well, also putting up an extra $100 for Matt Lux for the VMS QuickTime Qualifier. So thank you to Rosewood Machine and Tool, one of our longtime partners, and I'm sure Matt Lux will greatly appreciate that, and our whole series definitely appreciates the whole support of Rosewood Machine and Tool.
Cars refiring as they still work to get the 29 of DJ Foose on the hook. Don't forget to get those 50-50 tickets. Support the young ladies of Salina High School girls soccer program. I haven't seen them come through the stand yet, but they do have a table set up to get those 50-50 tickets. Caleb Henry in that 101 car, fastest in that session, 4th quickest overall at 11:074, 11:074. Nate Dessel still the time to beat at a 10:894. Devin Borden is 2nd quick, Danny Dietrich 3rd, Caleb Henry 4th, Brock Hallett 5th, Cale Thomas in that group is 6th overall, Connor Morrell 7th, Tyler Street 8th, Travis Philo 9th, and Greg Wilson your top 10 in speeds. Heat race number 3 and hot lap group number 3 coming on to the Speedway. The 22 of Cole Duncan out of Circleville, Ohio. The 32-year-old driver, the Helms Construction, Ohio Heating, Motor City Transport. Gressman Power Sports, Wolf Composites. 2019 Fast Champion. Multi-time Atomic Speedway Track Champion. Winner here at Waynesfield on his resume. The 24D of Danny Sams III of Northport, Florida. The 22-year-old driver of the RVLocksandMore.com. Global Link, Schaefer's Oil by Rob Enders, number 24. The 17 of Dylan Norris out of Hanover, Pennsylvania. And the PhilPools.com, Polk Brothers Racing, Specified Commodity Carriers, Trivent Fusion Financial Group, Dynatech Controls. A winner a couple weeks ago at the Pittsburgh Motor Speedway. Dylan Norris in the 17. The 27 of Emerson Axum out of Franklin, Indiana, and the WCI Capital Industries, IPC Petrie Excavating. Finished third in the National USAC points last year. Picked up a midget win during Midget Speedweek in Indiana 3 nights ago. In the 19, down the backstretch out of Plano, Texas, former All-Star Rookie of the Year, TJ Michael, in the Prosser Racing entry. In the Advanced Cast Stone, Fremont Fence, PCI Dental Medical Specialist, Brooklyn Cabinets, All Outdoors, Dragon Racing Fuel, the Stewart House Crown Battery Racers, Realm Superior Tank number 19. The Steel City Outlaw, Tim Schaefer, in the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, former Knoxville Nationals winner, 4-time All-Star champion, and the Rudzik Excavating Precision Overhead Garage Door, Centerline Boring Smith Titanium 49X. Creed Kemenall, the 15K, out of Elveda, Ohio. The 17-year-old driver of the Ohio Logistics, Truck Works of Ohio, Redline Welding, Rogue East Decoys, King Racing Products, Leuna, number 15K. The number 2 of Ricky Peterson out of Rawson, Ohio. The 27-year-old driver of the King Cold Meats, Team Shank, Midwest Meteorology Solutions, Berryman Racing, Shocks, Bluffton Diesel Services, Cali Performance Products, number 2. Zeph Sabo out of Fremont, Ohio. And the Level Utilities, Napa, Fremont Auto Parts, Limousine Services, Kaiser Sound, number 29. Gage Etchen out of Salina, Ohio, in the number 2X. So Danny Sam's quickest in group number 3, 9th quickest overall in that 24D machine. Right down the front stretch. Danny set quick time last night at the Fremont Speedway before getting involved in a heat race incident. 4th and final hot lap session. 68G of Tyler Gunn out of Alinta, Ohio, near Napoleon. The 27-year-old driver of the KK Collision Guns Auto Service, Moore's Plumbing, Growing Minds Learning Center, Napoleon Metal and Iron, Premier Patching, Slade Shock Technologies, Freedom Benefits, Nagel Construction for the 2020 Fast Champion. McKenna Hassey in the number 55, formerly out of Des Moines, Iowa, now calls Indiana home. 27 years of age in the High V, Interstate Batteries, Delta Dental, Autojet, number 55. The Australian in the V60, the Leadfoot Kid, Jordan Charge, out of Melton, Victoria, Australia, in the Super F Series Spares. Marchcon, Wills Auto, Jackson Raps, number V60. The number 99 of Skylar G. out of Luke, Alberta, Canada. The 25-year-old driver of the Warrior Buildings Development, Building Packages, Direct Pack Rack Dumpsters, Castle Rock Enterprise, Pat Beck Motorsports, Nelson Brothers, former winner here at Waynesfield Raceway Park. Zane DeVault and Lane Racing, number 4, out of Plymouth, Indiana, the 24-year-old driver of the island end of Put in Bay, Premier Planning Services, Dashler Lanes, Leadhead Waterfowl, Pro Auto Wraps, Kistler Engines, Kistler Racing Products, number 4. Pair of wins at the Fremont Speedway this season, one up at Butler Speedway. Stuart Brubaker car number 35, out of Helena, Ohio, near Fremont. The 40-year-old driver of the Pit Stop Convenience Stores, Black Swamp H&C, Story Equipment, Seamless Gutters, Finish Line Race Fuels, Gressman Power Sports. 33W picked up the opening night win. He's got 1 at Fremont, 2 at Attica. Out of Republic, Ohio, Cap Henry. In the Premier Planning Services, Jeff Ward Demolition, Ohio Logistics, Primal Tea Shop, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, Griff's Engines, number 33W. James Sam out of Bellevue, Ohio, in the number 1S. The Bobby Clark Racing, Chaluk's Bar and Grill sponsored 1S. The 5J of Jake Hessen out of Marysville, Ohio, the 23-year-old driver of the Sam Jackson's Auto Body, Janet Holbrook, West Plumbing, Tilton Truck Repair, Gates Brothers Grass, number 5J. Lee Jacobs in car number 81 out of Worcester, Ohio. Holmesville High, excuse me, and that Simcox Grinding and Steel, Amanda Lewis, attorney at law, Performance Foot and Ankle, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, HP Engines, number 81.
Ohio Thunder Race Saver 305s coming out for engine heat. Carson Dillon in the 83 on the Speedway. Jacob Stickle in the number 94. Matt Warner in the number 9. Roman Gephardt, regular with the Ohio Thunder Race Saver Sprints. Wyatt Justice, feature winner last night at the 35 Raceway Park with the 305s. Todd Hinton in the number 18. The 83 again of Carson Dillon out there. James Moore in the 11J. The 23T of Ashton Thompson. Don't forget, race fans, we will be drawing 5 numbers from the general admission tickets and 5 numbers from the pit tickets. And they will go into a bucket for at the end of the year, and we will be drawing for a free set of General tires. So every event the rest of the year, we'll be drawing 5 from each side. 5 from the grandstand side, 5 from the pit side. Louis Christian with us in the 8C out of Marysville, Ohio. '51 of Chase Baker out of Waynesville, Ohio. In the 94 of Jacob Stickle. Again, it's just engine heat for the Race Saver Sprints. We will see them back out for time practice.
Hey guys, you need to drive all the way through that driveway.
After qualifying for the Fast 410s. With that said, next up will be Fast 410 qualifying. Waynesfield Raceway Park would like to thank the following sponsors: Ohio Logistics, Bruschetta Creek Steaks, Tom All's Family Dealership, Block Insurance, Tim Hogan's Carpet, K&L Ready Mix, Rudolph Foods, Allen Davis Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Precision Plumbing, Carter Lumber, Stillwater Metals, and NWO Property Services. Make sure you support the sponsors that support racing here at Waynesfield, so we can continue to have great events like tonight's night number 3 of Ohio Sprint Speed Week. As we get ready to go with qualifying, let's turn it over to the voice of Ohio Sprint Speed Week this year, Brian Lisky.
Thanks so much, Jerry. 2 cars at a time, 2 laps. The fastest qualifier in each heat will start 4th, then we line them up straight up. So the second quickest qualifiers start on the pole of the heat race. The goal is to get in the top 4 in your heat race and times, so you can start in those first 2 rows. Your first two qualifiers will be the W20 of Greg Wilson out of Benton Ridge, Ohio. The 49-year-old driver of the Hercules Tires, Ohio Logistics, DNC Hydraulics, Heitmeyer Concrete for the two-time All-Star champion. And the 29M of Connor Morrell, or excuse me, 29M of Logan McCandless out of Mercer, Pennsylvania. The 22-year-old driver of the McCandless Ford, McCandless Trailer Sales, Priest Enterprises, High Performance Lubricants, CarMate Trailers. Coming to the green flag, 2 laps of qualifying. Track record here at Waynesfield Motorsports Park, 10.040, set 2 years ago by Scott Boguski, the Australian. Lap number 1 for Logan McCandless, 11.659. First lap for Greg Wilson, a 12.334. Logan McCandless' second lap is not better. His first lap of 11.595. The quick lap for Logan McCandless, 11.871. The quick lap for Greg Wilson in the W20. Next two qualifiers, the 47 of Todd King out of Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin, and the BMRE Electric Carts, Arbron Incorporated, St. Nick's Chimney and Foundation, Redline, number 47. And he set the quickest lap in hot laps, the one of Nate Dussel out of Bradner, Ohio, the 34-year-old driver of the Industrial Movers, S&S Hauling, Fawsey Farms, New Farm, VF Specialties, Barrier Fabrication, Real Geese Decoys, A-Plus Auto Center, Behrman Racing, Shocks, Kaiser Wheels, Design Graphics Group, K Media for the 2022 Fast Champion. With a fast win already this season. Todd King, a regular with the Interstate Racing Association. Oh, Nate Dussel into the front stretch wall. So Logan McCandless still quickest in Heat 1. Greg Wilson second. Nate Dussel now third quick, and Todd King next two qualifiers. The 5AU of Brock Hallett out of Victoria, Australia, the 32-year-old driver of the GW Racing All-Star Graphics J&S Drilling Kaiser Wheels, the 2023 Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic champion. Sterling Kling out of Tempe, Arizona, in the number 34, now calls Franklin, Indiana home for the 27-year-old driver of the Sterling Kling Racing, Bird Racing DRC Chassis, number 34. Again, aiming to get in those top four qualifying. Green flag out for the first lap. Sterling Kling's opening lap, quick time in heat race and number 1. Sterling Kling with Mikey Kemper turning the wrenches on the number 34. And he will set quick time so far in heat race number 1 at 11.592. Logan McCandless second quick, Greg Wilson third, Brock Hallett fourth, Nate Dussel and Todd King. Next two qualifiers. The 4-star of Tyler Street out of Frederickstown, Ohio, the 25-year-old driver of the Bandit Logistics, Mules Hauling, M. Miller Construction, Schaefer's Oil, Behrman Racing Shocks, Mount Vernon Buckeye Auto Care for the 2021 Ohio Valley Sprint Car Association champion. Danny Dietrich in number 48 Out of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, in the Wykers Livestock, Derek Snyder, Self-Made Racing, RV, four-wheel drive, and performance, York Excavating, Sandoz Fruit Market. 6 wins already in 2024 for Double D Danny Dietrich, including a big paying event at the Port Royal Speedway recently. Struggled the first 2 nights, did not make the A main the first 2 nights of Ohio Sprint Speedweek. Looking to rebound here at the field. He was excited about coming to Waynesfield. Normally runs on the big half miles over in central Pennsylvania. Tyler Street's opening lap good for 3rd quick. Danny Dietrich, quick time on his opening lap. 11.375. And Danny Dietrich quicker on lap 2. He's quickest in heat race 1 so far at 11.232. Sterling Kling's 2nd quick. Logan McCandless 3rd. Tyler Street on the bubble in 4th with the final 2 qualifiers. Maybe we might have one more after these 2. Connor Morrell in that 28M out of Bradenton, Florida, the 20-year-old driver of the Tub of Towels, Amelie Oil, All-Star Performance, TI-22 Performance, Cox Chevrolet, Hooker Harness, finished 6th with the All-Star Circuit of Champions last year. Travis Philo, the 5T. Out of Waterville, Ohio, the 33-year-old driver of the Control Design Solutions, Tire Slick, Banshee Graphics, Columbus Equipment, Berryman Racing Shocks, number 5T. Regular competitor up north in Fremont Speedway and Attica Raceway Park. Connor Morrell's opening lap good for 4th quick. Travis Philo goes up to 4th quick now in his 2nd lap. And Connor Morrell 2nd quick. So Danny Dietrich quickest so far in heat 1. Connor Morrell now 2nd quick. Sterling Kling 3rd and Logan McCandless your top 4. Final qualifier for heat race number 1, the 45 of Devin Borden out of Raymond, Washington, and that Brian Grove Racing, Canton Erectors. Number 45, coming off a 4th place run last night over at the Port Royal Speedway. He has 1 win this season at Port Royal Speedway. So your top 4 in heat race number 1 will be Danny Dietrich with quick time, Connor Morrell 2nd, Sterling Kling 3rd, Logan McCandless 4th, Travis Philo is 5th quick. Heat race number 2 qualifiers next up. The 11N of Casey Jetterzek out of LaGrange, Ohio, the 19-year-old driver of the Mr. Heater Heat Star, Cherry's Outdoor World, Cherry's Propane Team line them up. Heitmeyer Concrete, Chalk Sticks, Elite Wings, Fisher Custom Printing, Rhonda Jetterzek at Howard Hanada Real Estate, the DiBaggio family, Perfection Fabricators, Sips and Such, BEI Supply and Rental, Nagy Coatings, Southgate Lanes, number 11N, Mike Keegan just celebrated his 23rd birthday 2 days ago in that X-Car out of Fremont, Ohio, in the Level Utilities, BL Minick Trucking, John Rice Custom Chrome Plating, Fremont Fence, Liberty Tax, Guild Construction, Napa Auto Parts, Max Salon, Kistler Racing Products. Finished 3rd last year in the Great Lakes Super Sprints Tour. Mike Keegan in Car X with wins over at Limaland Motorsports Park. Casey Jetterzek with a 360 went hard into the front stretch wall, but he kept her going. So Mike Keegan gets 1 more lap left. The other 2 will be the 22 of Riley Goodnow out of Knoxville, Iowa, the 21-year-old driver of the Quality Traffic Control, Stivers Ford Lincoln, Schilling Excavating. The 23 of Cale Thomas out of Fairland, Indiana. The Jay Kaiser Racing Machine, Spanky's Pizza, Shalook's Bar and Grill, Automatic Fire Protection, Ohio Refrigeration, Ohio Heating, Engler Machine, BH41, TMH Holdings, Berryman Racing, Shocks, Kaiser Wheels, all sponsors of the 23. Pair wins at Attica Raceway Park and one at Fremont Speedway for the current point leader of the Attica Fremont Championship Series entry. Cale Thomas, quick time so far in heat race number 2 in that 23 car at 11.692. Riley Goodnow second quick in the 22 car. Casey Jetterzak and Mike Keegan. Now DJ Foose was scheduled to be out here, but after his mishap in hot laps, we'll bring the 101 of Caleb Henry out of Roseville, California. The 24-year-old driver of the Running Boxer Farms, Harris Distributing Company, Valvoline Oil, K1 Race Gear, Berryman Racing Shocks, Chalk Sticks for the Aussie All-Star Challenge winner. Made a name for himself racing last year over in Australia. Trey Jacobs, the third-generation driver in car number 9 out of Worcester, Ohio. The 32-year-old driver of the Harbaugh Electronics, Steve Brown's B&B Drain Service, Holmes Cheese Company, Smithville Manufacturing by Bezo, Brigade Insurance, Brent Kaufman Trucking, DJ's Aircraft Maintenance for the Fremont Speedway winner. Got his first win at Fremont Speedway a few weeks ago, Trey Jacobs. Cale Thomas still quick time, Riley Goodnow second, now Caleb Henry third, Casey Jetterzak, Trey Jacobs, and Mike Keegan. Next two qualifiers, Dwayne Zablocki out of Tiffin, Ohio, the Polish Projectile, the 40-year-old driver of the Burns Electric, Carmi's Bar and Grill, Ohio Osteopathic Institute, Integrity Auto and Truck Sales, number 9Z, and the 71M, a Mad Max Stambaugh out of Lima, Ohio, the 28-year-old driver of the Smith Motorsports, Jess Doug Salon, Lochinver, Sunrise Archery, Jim Coffey and Sons Heating and Plumbing, excuse me, the 2023 and 2022 Great Lakes Super Sprints champion. 360 wins for Max Stambaugh already in 2024. So Max Stambaugh 6th quick, Dwayne Zablocki 8th quick so far in heat race number 2.
Make sure you get those 50-50 tickets, up to $510 so far. Let's keep building that up, make it the biggest of the year. Get those 50-50 tickets as they pass through the stands and head down there to the main ticket booth and get your 50-50 tickets.
Race number 3, qualifiers on the Speedway. The first two, the 2X of Gage Edgen out of Salina, Ohio. Emerson Axum in the number 27 out of Franklin, Indiana, in the WCI Capital Industries, IPC Petrie Excavating. Indiana's midget week win a couple nights ago, finished third in the national USAC points last season. And Emerson Axum's best lap, his second lap at 11:9:05, and Gage Etchen's quickest lap on lap 1 at a 12:9:04. Next to TJ Michael, the 19, Prosser Racing entry out of Plano, Texas. TJ is 26 years of age. In advanced cast stone, Fremont Fence, BCI Dental Medical Specialist, Brooklyn Cabinets. All Outdoors, Dragon Racing Fuels, the Stewart House Crown Battery, Racers Realm, Superior Tank, DTX Detail, Newland Bar Service, number 19. In the 24, Danny Sams III out of Northport, Florida. The 22-year-old driver of the RV, locksandmore.com, Global Link, Schaefer's Oil by Rob Enders. Former USAC quarter midget champion, Danny Sams III. Set quick time at the Fremont Speedway last night. Talking about how his family and him are setting him up to maybe go World of Outlaw Racing next season. Danny Sands opening lap good for second quick. TJ Michael third quick. Danny Sams quick time in heat race number 3 at 11:08:24. Emerson Axum now second. TJ Michael and Gage Etchen. Next to qualifiers, the 25 of Chris Myers out of Coldwell, Ohio, in the Pine Tree Towing and Recovery, D&D Automotive, Valley View Hills Winery, Fisher Engines, number 25. And the 49X of Tim Schaefer, the Steel City Outlaw out of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, and the 56-year-old driver of the Rudzik Excavating Precision Overhead Garage Door Centerline Boring Smith Titanium, with a 4-time All-Star champion, Knoxville National Champion, and National Sprint Car Hall of Fame inductee, Tim Schaefer. Tim with a late model win in 2024. Led the first 3 laps last night before the rains came. Boy, that exit of turn 4 getting awfully tricky up against the front stretch guardrail. And Tim Schaefer good for third quick time. Danny Sams still the time to beat in heat race number 3. Emerson Axum second. Tim Schaefer now third. TJ Michael fourth. Cole Duncan, the number 22. Out of Circleville, Ohio. The 32-year-old driver of the Helms Construction, Ohio Heating, Motor City Transport, Gressman Power Sports, Wolf Composites for the 2019 Fast Champion, multi-time Atomic Speedway Track Champion. Dylan Norris out of Hanover, Pennsylvania, car number 17. In the PhilPools.com, Polk Brothers Racing, Specified Commodity Carriers, Trivent Fusion Financial Group, Dynatech Controls, a winner a couple weeks ago at the Pittsburgh Motor Speedway. Cole Duncan, quick time. Now in heat race number 3 at 11:08:12. Danny Sam second quick. Emerson Axum third, and Tim Schaefer on the bubble in that fourth quick time. 2 more cars to qualify in heat race number 3.
Break after these 2, please.
The 29 is Seth Sabo out of Fremont, Ohio. The 21-year-old driver of the Fremont Auto Parts, Linder Speed Equipment, Level Utilities, Kaiser Sound, Limousine Services, number 29, and Stuart Brubaker, the number 35 out of Helena, Ohio. The 40-year-old driver of the Pit Stop Convenience Stores, Black Swamp H&C, Story Equipment, Seamless Gutters, Finish Line, Race Fuels, Gressman Power Sports. For the former Fremont Speed or Attica Raceway Park 410 track champion, Stuart Brubaker. Former Fast 305 champion. Seth Sabo into the fourth quick spot. Stuart Brubaker into the fourth quick spot. Oh, and he's off the high side of turn 2. And his first lap will be good enough, though, for fourth quick time for Stuart Brubaker. So Cole Duncan quickest, Danny Sam second quick, Emerson Axum third, and Stuart Brubaker, your top 4 qualifiers. Seth Sabo fifth, Tim Schaefer sixth in heat race number 3. Fourth and final heat race qualifiers. Getting set, McKenna Hassey out of Greenwood, Indiana, car number 55, the 27-year-old driver of the Hy-Vee. Interstate Batteries, Delta Dental Autojet a 5-time winner at the Knoxville Raceway for McKenna Hassey on her resume. The 99 of Skylar G. out of Leduc, Alberta, Canada. The 25-year-old driver of the Warrior Building Developments, Building Packages Direct, Pat Rack Dumpsters, Castle Rock Enterprise, Pat Beck Motorsports, FK Roddins, Nelson Brothers. Number 99, Skylar G. A win at Attica Raceway Park this season. Skylar G. quickest so far in your fourth and final heat at a 12:142. McKenna Hassey at a 12:831. Next three qualifiers, the 68G of Tyler Gunn out of Melinto, Ohio, the 27-year-old driver, the KK Collision Guns Auto Service, Moores Plumbing, Growing Minds Learning Center, Napoleon Metal and Iron, Premier Patching, Slade Shock Technology, Gressman Power Sports, Freedom Benefits, Nagel Construction for the 2020 Fast Champion, 2023 Wayne County Speedway Track Champion, Tyler Gunn, the 68G. Picked up the win Friday night at Attica Raceway Park as second of the season for the two-time Attica Track Champion, defending AFCS Champion Cap Henry out of Republic, Ohio. The 33-year-old driver of the Premier Planning Service, Jeff Ward Demolition, Ohio Logistics, Primal T-Shop, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, FK Roddins, Griff's Engines. He has 2 wins at Attica, 1 at Fremont in 2024. Cap Henry's opening lap good for quick time in your fourth heat so far at 11:916. Skylar G. second quick. Tyler Gunn now third. McKenna Hassey fourth quick. Next two qualifiers, the 5J. The driver out of Marysville, Ohio, Jake Hessen, 23 years of age, in the Sam Jackson's Auto Body. Janet Holbrook, Weeks Plumbing, Tilton Truck Repair, Gates Brothers Grass. 2017 Ohio Thunder 305 champion, Jake Hessen in the 5J. Ricky Peterson with a win at the Wayne County Speedway this season. And that number 2 out of Rawson, Ohio, the 27-year-old driver of the King Cold Meats, Team Shank, Midwest Meteorology Solutions, Perryman Racing Shocks, Bluffton Diesel Services, Callie's Performance, number 2. Ricky Peterson moves into the fourth quick time on his opening lap. Jake Hessen, third quick. So Cap Henry quickest so far in heat race 4. Skylar G second. Jake Hessen now third, and Ricky Peterson is fourth. Next pair of qualifiers, the 15K of Creed Kemenaw. Out of Elveda, Ohio, the 17-year-old driver of the Ohio Logistics, Truck Works of Ohio, Redline Welding, Real Geese Decoy, King Racing Products, Leuna Labor's Local, number 15K of Creed Kemenaw. The V60 of Jordan Charge, the Leadfoot Kid out of Melton, Victoria, Australia, in the Super F Series Spares, Martzcon, Wills Auto, Jackson Wraps, number V60. His first ever appearance at the field. And he goes fourth quick on his opening lap, or second lap, excuse me. Creed Kemenaw third quick. So far Cap Henry quickest, Creed Kemenaw now second quick, Skylar G third, and Jordan Charge your top 4 in speeds. Final 2 qualifiers for the TI-22 Performance Fast on Dirt Series. The number 4 of Zane DeVault out of Plymouth, Indiana, the 24-year-old driver of the Islander end of Put-in-Bay, Premier Planning Services, Deschler Lanes, Leadhead Waterfowl, Pro Auto Wraps, Kistler Engines, Kistler Racing Products, Lane Racing. 3 wins on the season, 2 at Fremont on the same night, and 1 up at Butler Speedway in Quincy, Michigan. And the 81 of Lee Jacobs out of Holmesville, Ohio, the 41-year-old driver of the Simcox Grinding and Steel, Amanda Lewis, attorney at law, Performance Foot and Ankle, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, HP Engines, number 81. And Cap Henry, number 4, Creed Kemenaw second quick, Skylar G third, and Zane DeVault moves into the top 4. Lee Jacobs 5th, Jordan Charge 6th, Jake Hessen 7th, Ricky Peterson 8th, Tyler Gunn 9th, and McKenna Hassey in the 10th in qualifying.
Ohio Thunder IMCA Race Saver Sprints coming up next for qualifying. in time practice. 16 305 sprint cars signed in for action tonight. Race fans, don't forget, right down in the bleacher, the new barn down below. Full concession down underneath, cold drinks, sandwiches, candied chips, all that good stuff right down below here, right underneath where we're sitting in the tower. Check that out. First visit for the Ohio Thunder Race Saver 305s here to Waynesfield Raceway Park.
Larry said there's 18. There's 2 that haven't checked in. Okay, we'll figure them out. Their names, nothing. I guess it's not checking story time. First car out on the track. Out of Chillicothe, Ohio, with 3 wins in the 2024 season. That's the number 79 of Chris Miller. We saw him during the autograph session earlier. In the number 18 out of Sterling, Ohio, that is Todd Hinton. Todd Hinton. 2 laps on the clock, best time. We'll count in qualifying for your Ohio Race Saver sprints. They'll pick up the pace. This time by, they'll go green. Next time out of turn number 4 with the 79 of Chris Miller. Trouble over in turn 2. The 18 of Todd Hinton goes around. That will bring out the caution. We'll get him pushed off. Try that again. Many of these 305 sprint drivers not coming to Waynesfield Raceway Park in the past. Their first visit here. So Todd Hinton, one of those gentlemen. We'll get him pushed off and refired. Again, don't forget 50/50 tickets on sale throughout the bleachers and down at the main ticket office, table set up. Make sure you get a 50/50 ticket, chance to win some cash tonight here at Waynesfield Raceway Park. All right, Todd Hinton refired. We'll get him wound back up. We'll do it again. Green flag this time by Chris Miller on the clock, and Todd Hinton loops around, tries to stay in it, and he'll bring out the caution again. Todd Hinton having problems finding the handle. The number 18 car here at Waynesfield Raceway Park. Todd out of Sterling, Ohio. One feature event on the season for Todd Hinton down at the Muskegon County Speedway back on the 18th of May. Credited with a 14th place finish. So we'll wind them up, try it again here. The first 2 cars in qualifying for your Ohio Race Savers 305 sprint cars. Again, the Race Saver sprints a Spec 305 series governed by the IMCA. With regional racing all over the country, including down in southern Ohio, now coming up to the Waynesfield Raceway Park normal class at the Atomic Speedway. First lap time, Owen Miller, a 13.156, 13.156. First lap time, Owen Todd Hinton, 15.16. Oh, trouble for Chris Miller up in the fence. He'll gather it up, saves it. That second lap not going to be very good. 13.156 for Chris Miller, quickest so far. Todd Hinton with a 14.853 on his final lap. Next car out on the track, out of West Jefferson, Ohio, in the 8C, it's Louis Christian. Joining Louis out of Waynesville, Ohio, the 51 of Chase Baker. Louis Christian, no stranger to racing here at Waynesfield Raceway Park, raced in the non-wing sprints years ago. Glad to have Louis back with us now here with the Ohio Race Saver Sprints. Louis, a longtime competitor in the 305 sprints in Southern Ohio. First lap time for Louis Christian, the 14.805, 14.805. Second quick so far. First lap for Chase Baker in the 51, a 16.292, 16.292. Second lap for Christian. Little quicker, still second quick, 14.650, 14.650. And Chase Baker goes a little quicker on lap 2 as well, the 15.238, 15.238. The next two cars coming out on the track. Out of Middletown, Ohio. He picked up the win on March 4th at Atomic Speedway down in Waverly, Ohio. The 22H of Hot Rod Henning.
So it's just a top 4 in each one that's wrong, right?
Right. And out of New Lebanon, Ohio, the 21G of Roman Gephardt. Gephardt in the 21G. Rod Henning, multi-time feature winner here at the Waynesfield Raceway Park in lightning sprints in years past. He'll jump up to second quick on lap 1 with a 13.386. Gephardt third quick with a 14.093. Second lap time, Owen Henning. A little slower, 13.702. Gephardt. A little slower on lap 2 as well with a 14.145. So lap 1's going to be the one that counts. Third lap time, final lap time on Henning. 13.456. So he'll stick with the 13.386. Be second quick. Roman Gephardt with a 14.097 on lap 3. So his first lap of 14.093 will stand in third quick. Next car out of the track, out of Bruceville, Indiana. That is the 11R of Blaine Ridgely. Joining Ridgely out of Salem, Indiana, the 23T of Ashton Thompson. Green flag waves. Both drivers now on the clock. First lap time on Ridgely, fourth quick, 14.117. Ashton Thompson, fifth quick on lap 1, the 14.432. Ridgely a little quicker, up to third quick, 14.049. Ashton Thompson a little slower on lap 2, 14.432. Next two cars out on the track, out of Grand Blanc, Michigan. The number 14A of Alex Clute, joining Clute out of Stoutsville, Ohio. The winner last night at 35 Raceway Park, it's Wyatt Justice out of Stoutsville, Ohio, in the number 25. Green flag in the air. Now both drivers on the clock. Alex Clute will come down. Take the green flag. First lap time on Wyatt Justice. Fifth quick, 14.346. 1.4.346 on lap 1 for Wyatt Justice. Alex Clute goes 8th quick. 14.829. Second lap time on Justice. A little quicker, 4th quick, 14.083. 14.083. Alex Clute. Little slower, 15.151. Justice a little slower on a final lap, 14.300. He'll take a 4th quick with a 14.083. Next car out on the track, out of West Salem, Ohio. That's the number 9 of Matt Warner. Joining Warner in the number 94 out of Xenia, that is Jacob Stickle.
He's way late.
Oh, trouble for the 9 car. Matt Warner
Well, maybe he's not coming.
getting a little squirrely there at the end of the front straightaways. Loops it out and bring out the caution.
All push trucks are being sent by Danny, so let Danny send the push trucks here, guys.
We'll get Matt Warner turned around, refired. We'll try it again here as we are in
Danny, when we get into the races,
time practice for your Ohio Thunder IMCA Race Saver 305 sprint cars. It's part of night number 3 of Ohio Sprint Speed Week, featuring the Fast on Dirt Sprint Car Series and the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets, along with the Ohio Thunder IMCA Race Saver Sprints. Don't forget, we're back in action here at Waynesfield Raceway Park next Saturday with the Father's Day special. And then on July 3rd, the Jack Hewitt Classic.
coming to green.
We'll talk about that more as we pick up the pace here with Jacob Stickle and Matt Warner. First lap time on Stickle, 6th quick, 14.300. Matt Warner 12th quick right now with a 15.139. Stickle a little quicker that time with a 14.271. 6th quick. Matt Warner up to 11th quick now in the number 9 car with a 14.873. Checkered flag in the air. Jacob Stickle will stay 6th quick with a 14.266, and Matt Warner stays 11th quick. A little slower that time, 15.027, so he'll stick with a 14.873. Next car on the track out of Terre Haute, Indiana, picking up the win on May 31st in Jacksonville, Illinois. It's Carson Dillon. Carson Dillon in the 83. Joining Dillon out of Mainstay, Ohio, that is James Moore in the 11J. Green flag in the air. Both drivers now on the clock. Sunny, breezy day here at Waynesfield Raceway Park, making for a very technical racetrack. Carson Dillon goes 7th quick on lap 1, the 14.372. Second lap for Dillon, a little quicker. Still 6th quick, 14.225. James Moore goes 9th quick in the 11J with a 14.515. Checker flag waves. Dillon jumps up to 4th quick, the 14.064. James Moore staying 9th quick, getting his quickest time of 14.515. Final 2 cars coming out on the track out of Taylorsville, Kentucky. It's Dylan Baldwin in the 67B. He picked up a win at the Beckley Motor Speedway in West Virginia back on May 25th. Joining him out of Columbus, Ohio, that is the number 44 of Jason Young. Look out. Dylan Baldwin way up the track over in turns 3 and 4. Baldwin fifth quick with a 14.131. The 44 Jason Young right now 12th quick.
Steve said he's got his numbers.
He does? So you want yours?
Checkered flag waves for Dylan Baldwin. He'll run 7th quick with a 14.131. And James Moore. Jason Young with a 14.811 will be 12th. The quick time tonight in your Ohio Thunder Race Saver Sprints, Chris Miller in the number 79 with a 13.156.
You know, guys, we swap things around, studying how best way to do things.
Second quick, Hot Rod Henning in the 22H with a 13.386. Third quick, the 11R, Blaine Ridgely with a 14.049. Fourth quick, Carson Dillon in the number 83, 14.064. Fifth quick, the 25 of Wyatt Justice, 14.083. Roman Gephardt goes sixth quick in the 21G with a 14.093. Seventh quick is the 67B of Dylan Baldwin, 14.131. Eighth quick is the 94 Jacob Stickle with a 14.266. Ninth quick, the 23T of Ashton Thompson with 14.432. 10th quick, the 11J of James Moore with a 14.515. 11th quick, the 8C of Louis Christian, 14.650. Jason Young goes 12th quick in the 44 with a 14.811. Alex Clute, 13th quick in the 14A with a 14.829. Todd Hinton goes 14th quick in the number 18 car with a 14.853. Matt Warner, 9th quick in the number 9. 15th quick in the number 9 with a 14.873. And the 16th and final qualifier was the 51 of Chase Baker with a 14.918. With that, looks like Brian Lisky has a guest down here on the front straightaway. We'll send it down to Brian Lisky.
Check one. There we go. Danny Dietrich, nice rebound. First 2 nights sucked for you for Speedweek, didn't it?
Yeah, they were terrible, but hopefully we found a problem. Definitely was a lot better there. We're used to this surface here, and was thrown for a little bit of a loop the last couple nights, and obviously had a little bit of an issue, but happy to be quick time here tonight.
You posted on social media prior to Speedweek that you were really looking forward to coming back to Waynesfield. Why is that?
Just, coming out to the middle of the field here and putting a race on for everybody. I'm excited for all of Ohio Speedweek. Whether we were winning or losing, last couple nights stink, but we're here, and it's a long week. We got 7 races to rebound with, so hopefully we can get ourselves in victory lane a couple times, at least once, maybe tonight. We'll see.
Real quick question here. You're used to the big half miles. I mean, you won just a huge show at Port Royal. The big half miles, man, you go a lot of speed. These little bull rings get slick, and there's a lot of action in there.
Yeah, as long as it's slick, I'm a fan. So my theory, with our race cars is sometimes not the best in the wet and heavy stuff, but we try and adapt to that. But the slick tracks are fun for me, and bull rings, I don't mind them either. So we'll just give it our all, no matter what track we're on.
So you get to start 4th in the heat. All you got to finish top 5. You can do that tonight, Ken.
We sure hope so. We'll try and keep it on the track going into 1.
Danny Dietrich, quick time tonight with the Fast on Dirt Series.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you to the Fast Series for being here tonight at Waynesfield Raceway Park, the Field of Speed.
You make the call. You make the call and do what you need to do.
50-50 up to $720 now. So again, make sure you get those 50-50 tickets.
All right, we got one getting injured. You try to get ahead of the water.
Again, thank you to all of our sponsors at Waynesfield Raceway Park for the 2024 season. Ohio Logistics, Pachetta Creek Steaks, a.k.a. Amanda's Amazing Meats, Tom All Family Dealerships, Block Insurance, Tim Hogan's Carpet, K&L Ready Mix, Rudolph Foods, Allen Davis Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Precision Plumbing, Carter Lumber, Stillwater Metals, and NWO Property Services.
All mobility, all ALL.
Don't forget, race fans, we are back in action next Saturday night right here at Waynesfield Raceway Park. Dad's Delight. Dirt car UMP modifieds in the house. Always fun to watch compacts and the Dirt Track Truck Series. Come out for a nice local race program here at Waynesfield Raceway Park next Saturday night, June 15th. Bring your dad. Celebrate Father's Day at the track. After that, we're back in action on Wednesday, July 3rd in a big, big way. We celebrate the July 4th holiday with the Jack Hewitt Classic, featuring the Boss non-wing sprint cars, the Great Lakes traditional sprints, Great Lakes Super Sprints in the house, the wing sprints, and the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets all back here on Wednesday, July 3rd. Saturday, July 27th, we've got the Great Lakes Super Sprints Ohio Cat Sprint Car Series, Dirt Car UMP Modifieds, Compacts, and the Dirt Track Truck Series, and a salute to the fallen 360 Sprint Greats. And then we get the kids ready for back to school night on Saturday, August 10th. The Boss Non-Wing Sprints, the Race Saver Sprints back with us, and the Dirt Track Truck Series. Again, that's Saturday, August 10th. Saturday, August 24th, the Nichols Brothers Salute, honoring two of the greatest characters in sprint car racing history from right up the road in Lima, Ohio. We'll have the fast sprints back in the house, the 410 wing sprints, the 360 wing sprints, the Great Lakes Super Sprints Ohio Cat Sprint Car Series, and unsanctioned 305 sprints.
We're going to pledge allegiance, my God.
Do you need us to find the words?
You can check out our schedule and all details on all of our events by visiting Waynesfield Raceway Park on Facebook. Head over to our website at Waynesfield Motorsports Park. Again, just a little bit here. Going to get a little bit of moisture back into the track. Head down to the Midway. Grab yourself a T-shirt. The Fast on Dirt souvenir trailer. Casey Jedrzejczyk souvenir stand is set up. Tim Schaefer's Rudzik Racing souvenir trailer also set up. Logan McCandless with souvenirs down there. And again, that Fast on Dirt souvenir trailer also on display.
So we will have more shirts. And there's more Speedweek shirts. Yep, if they want to go down and pre-order, it's just like on our pre-order, you can pre-order, and we'll make sure they get it delivered, or we'll ship it to them.
All right, folks, we're being told that the Ohio Sprint Speedweek T-shirts are sold out at the Fast on Dirt souvenir stand. However, they do have more on order. They will be in on Tuesday at Atomic. But here's the trick. You can pre-order those shirts tonight. down at the Fast on Dirt souvenir stand. You can pick them up in Waverly, Ohio on Tuesday night, or they can ship them to you. So if you're interested in picking up a 2024 Ohio Sprint Speedweek t-shirt, you can still get those from the Fast on Dirt folks down there at their souvenir stand. Again, don't forget 50/50 ticket sales are well underway. Last word was $720 going to the winner. Obviously, we want to see that get bigger and bigger as the night goes on. Race fans, do us a favor, use the trash receptacles throughout the facility throughout the evening. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you get your trash to the trash cans for us. Help us keep the field of speed clean. And we ask that you be considerate of your neighbor. If you're a smoker, vapor, any of that, please take that back behind the bleachers to the fence line. No smoking or vaping in the grandstand area, please. Well, Brian, lots of sun, lots of breeze, making for a little bit of fun there in qualifying. Obviously, Greg Shobe and crew heading out, getting some moisture back into the track for heat race action. But, man, what a great turnout here at the Field of Speed.
We just looked out over the bleachers, packed. Midway is packed. Still a line to get in. Concessions packed. Thank you, race fans.
Absolutely.
None of us could do any of this without you people spending your hard-earned dollars, and we sure do appreciate it. And we hope that the race teams can keep you entertained tonight as well. Hey, special guests are watching tonight. Speedweek started in 1983, and as I said earlier, it was a meeting between Bert and Bridget Emig, Gene Lynch, Earl Baldus. Bert and Bridget are watching at home in Florida. They're watching all week. So welcome, Bert and Bridget. Thank you for your legacy of what we get to enjoy now with the 42nd annual Ohio Sprint Speed Week. The Hall of Famers down in Florida. I wonder how Bert's golf game is.
Better than mine.
I don't golf, so it means nothing to me. I find it highly irregular to chase a little white ball around in the grass.
Yet I'll chase white race cars around on a racetrack anytime.
Or I go fishing every now and then.
That's true. Brian, you talk about that 42 years Ohio Sprint Speed Week. You've been announcing for 40 years. How many Speed Week events have you been able to call over the years? I know you've announced at several tracks, including here, Lima Land, I mean, everywhere.
Many. I never kept track. I'm not one of those people that keeps track of how many racetracks I go to. I know my good friend, it's the USAC announcer now, Brian Halbert, he keeps track, and he's the national announcer now, so he going to a lot of new tracks for him. I never kept track. I just show up. And Larry, you were at Larry Bowes was at the very first meeting? Tell us how this all. I know Earl, one of his many grand ideas at the time, I think Earl was promoting Millstream, Mansfield, Eldora, Lima Land maybe as well?
Yes, but through Dean Miracle, yes.
Dean Miracle, correct.
So, yeah, it all worked out 43 years ago. Back then, the All-Stars set their schedule in a promoters meeting, and all the promoters got together at the Holiday Inn at Columbus down there. And so there was Earl, of course. Him and Jeannie Lynch were pretty much heading up everything at that time. Bud Miller was still there. And then Earl just picked a few of us and said, hey, can you stick around at the bar? And he told everybody else, you go home. So he sits there and he says, I have this idea. And he laid it out and he explained how it's going to work. Well, at that time, I was working with Gary Kern at Fremont and promoting over there. And Earl came up with this idea, and he told everybody, now it's going to be a standard purse for the first 5 nights, and then Fremont's going to pay $5,000 to win. Or I'm sorry, Friday's going to pay $5,000 to win, and Saturday is going to pay $10,000 to win.
Now consider, $5,000 to win today is kind of normal, but back then,
42 years ago.
that was a lot of money for a weekly racetrack to pay.
So, Gary wasn't there, and my eyes lit up and said, he looked at me, he said, does Fremont want Friday? I said, give me 1 second. Well, there were no cell phones back then.
Right.
So I had to get on the payphone. I got a hold of Gary, and he said, hell yes. So we did it at Fremont, and if you remember that night, if you weren't in the grandstands before hot laps,
You got no seat.
right,
It was
and
the
you could
biggest
watch the
event.
cars coming off the bypass. Well, that was the year of the drought and the rain. Everybody's running late. We were right on schedule, and here comes hot laps, and who's late? Sammy Swindell. And I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that, yep.
The traffic was backed up beyond the bypass. Sammy went out in the other lane against all the other traffic and got out in the pits. And then Rex Lejeune and I were flagging, and Steve Kinzer won. And the neat thing is, people threw eggs.
Eggs, yes.
And so we're trying to get victory lane, and here's an egg frying on the header. So, yeah, thanks to Earl 42 years ago, and it's been nothing but uphill since.
Now, that's a great story. That is an absolute great story. I remember the eggs being thrown at Steve Kinzer. I do remember that much. Yeah. Race fans, at this time, if you are so inclined for prayer, please rise, remove your hats for our invocation.
All right, on behalf of the entire team here at Waynesfield Raceway Park, we want to thank you for coming out tonight. Our motto this year is to grow as we go, one race at a time, and through your support, we can continue to do that. But at this time, we draw our attention to the Lord above. Dear Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to come to enjoy what it is that we love, and that's auto racing. We thank you for the camaraderie that you give all of us to be able to come and do this. And Lord, we thank you for the sunshine over Waynesfield Raceway Park. At this time, we ask you to now direct your hand of safety, put it over all of the drivers, all of the officials, all of the teams, and all of the fans so that they have safe drives home throughout the rest of Ohio Sprint Speed Week. In your name we pray, amen.
I am so proud to see everybody standing for the invocation and the national anthem. Only in dirt track racing does everybody get quiet and pay homage to this great nation and to our Lord God. 4 heats up for the TI-22 Performance Fast on Dirt Super Sprints. Heat race number 1 brought to you by Napa Fremont Auto Parts. 8 laps of distance in each heat. Top 5 finishers to tonight's 30-lap A main. The winner and the quickest qualifying transfer. Nope, no deck. So a redraw for tonight's A main for the winner and the quickest qualifier that transfers in the top 5. Connor Morrell out of Bridgeport, Florida in the 28M will be your pole sitter. Sterling Kling out of Tempe, Arizona in the 34 to the outside. Row 2, Logan McCandless out of Mercer, Pennsylvania in the 29M. The inside of your quick qualifier out of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania in the 48, Double E Danny Dietrich. Row 3, Travis Philo out of Waterville, Ohio in the 5T. The inside of Tyler Street out of Frederickstown, Ohio in the 4-star. Row 4, starting 7th, out of Raymond, Washington in the 45, Devin Borden. And rolling off 8th, out of Benton Ridge, Ohio in the W20, Greg Wilson. Row 5, out of Portland, Victoria, Australia in the 5AU, Brock Hellett. And rolling off 10th, out of Bradner, Ohio in car number 1, Nate Dussel. And on the tail, Todd King out of Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin in car number 47. say a real quick thank you to all the race fans and businesses that have come through to make donations to the race teams for Ohio Sprint Speed Week. Big thank you to Stephanie Linder for organizing all that. It is so cool to see the drivers' faces light up when they get a box of goodies and an envelope with cash in it. And you race fans don't understand what that does for you, for these drivers. "50-50 girls from the Salina soccer team selling those 50-50 tickets are right here in front of the scoring tower. Get those 50-50 tickets, support the girls. Connor Morrell, Sterling Kling, row 1. Logan McCandless, Danny Dietrich, row 2. Travis Philo, Tyler Street in row 3. Devin Borden and Greg Wilson comprise row 4. Brock Hallett, Nate Dussel, row 5, and Todd King on the tail. Robert Penrod gives them the one to go signal. We're ready to rock and roar off turn 4 to chalk line and turn 4 at Waynesfield. First of 4 heat races. Looking. Green out in turn 4. Connor Morrell leads the charge into turns 1 and 2. Sterling Kling into second. Danny Dietrich right up to third. Logan McCandless slides back to fourth. He's got company in Tyler Street in the 4-star. Tyler Street now up into the 4 spot. Close quarter racing for 5th. Logan McCandless, the 5T of Travis Philo, and Greg Wilson on the move in the W20. Top 5 move on and for the lead out of turn 4. Your quick qualifier, Danny Dietrich. Connor Morrell in the 2nd spot. Race for 3rd. Tyler Street slides. Sterling Kling, who already has the wing in the trunk. Hang on, Travis Philo. Look at Tyler Street ripping out of turn 4 into the 3rd spot. Sterling Kling in the 4th position. Greg Wilson going to challenge him down the back stretches. Double D, Danny Dietrich is pulled away. Connor Morrell trying to hold off Tyler Street. Sterling Kling going to have to go to work on the setup of the 34 as he's already got the wing in the trunk in a heat race. Slides up the racetrack, opens the door for Greg Wilson, can't complete the pass. Danny Dietrich, 2.2 second lead out of turn 4. Connor Morrell continues in 2nd. Tyler Street 3rd. Sterling Kling 4th. Greg Wilson, your 5th place car. Logan McCandless, Nate Dussel, Devin Borden, Brock Hallett, Travis Philo, Todd King. Complete the fields. The white flag is already in the air. Danny Dietrich couldn't make the show the first 2 nights. Quick time, and now a heat race win for the redraw for Danny Dietrich. 2nd go to Connor Morrell. 3rd, Tyler Street. 4th, Sterling Kling. Your top 5 transfer to Greg Wilson. So your top 5 moving to tonight's A main. Greg Wilson finishes in that 5th spot. Sterling Kling in 4th. Tyler Street comes home 3rd. Connor Morrell in the 2nd spot. So he was your quick qualifier and only car to go to the redraw. Put your hands together for the winner of your Napa Fremont heat race number 1 out of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. How about it for Double D, Danny Dietrich? Can he make it a sweep tonight? All Mobility of Dayton, sponsor of heat race number 2, a lineup with Riley Goodnow out of Knoxville, Iowa in the 22 on the pole. Caleb Henry out of Sacramento, California in the 101 to the outside. Row 2 finds the 11N of Casey Jetterzek from LaGrange, Ohio. And Cale Thomas, your quick qualifier in this heat, out of Fairland, Indiana, in car number 23. Row 3, Trey Jacobs out of Worcester, Ohio, in the 9. The inside of Max Stemba out of Lima, Ohio, in the 71H. Row 4, starting 7th, Mike Keegan out of Fremont, in the X. And Dwayne Zablocki out of Tiffin, Ohio, in the 9Z. Row 5, Paul Dews in the 87 out of Minster, Ohio. I do not see the 29 of DJ Foose or the 1S of James Sam. Oh, there's James Sam out of Bellevue, Ohio. And I believe he has a 305 cubic inch engine under the hood of that 1S. Four feature winners in 2024 in this heat race, including Caleb Henry, Casey Jetterzek, Cale Thomas, 5 now. I forgot about Max Stamball. Swept a pair of 360 races down south to open the season. And Trey Jacobs, all feature winners. Just I say that, Trey Jacobs off the high side of 1 and 2. We went to go inspect the crops over there. I don't believe there are any crops over there. It looked like it was winter wheat at one point. Yes, I do know a little bit about agriculture. As a teenager, I baled hay.
Of course you did.
We didn't have them fancy balers then, you know. They just threw it up on the trailer and you had to stack it.
I'm almost old enough to remember that.
That wasn't the bad part. Putting it in the barn was 1,000 degrees.
Getting it up on the loft. And,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Here we go. Ready to rock and roar. Next time by, they get the one to go signal. Hats off to Riley Goodnow. He's been in Ohio a couple events now, not just for Speedweek, making the tour from Knoxville, Iowa. Now, you know, it's hard to leave home, especially with the purse that Knoxville pays on a weekly event, but Riley wants to expand. He wants to learn.
And what a way to learn is at Ohio Sprint Speed Week.
You know what you learn? You get tired.
I've heard that too.
Here we go, out of turn 4. Heat race number 2 goes green. Caleb Henry to the high side, going to grab the lead out of turn 2. We're going to bring that one back. Cody Gardner down here in the infield. So, no warnings here for the Fast Series. You go back a row right away. That'll move Cale Thomas up the outside of your front row. Yeah, we got a crisscross here. So Riley Goodnow down to the bottom. Casey Jetterzek. There we go. Going to go green this time. They have to be side by side, wing to wing at the chalk line. Cody Gardner looking them over in the infield. Cody with a win here in the Boss Series. Yeah. Got a Jack Hewitt Classic win. I always loved that race here at Waynesfield. Oh, yeah, Bob Hampshire Classic. Bob Hampshire's grandson, Creed Kemenall, racing tonight. Riley Goodnow, much better start. 3 wide for the second spot into turn 1. They split Casey Jetterzek. Cale Thomas into the runner-up position. Riley Goodnow, Cale Thomas, Caleb Henry, Casey Jetterzek, Trey Jacobs, your top 5. Max Stamball, Mike Keegan, Dwayne Zablocki, James Sam round out the field. 2 laps in, top 3 run nose to tail down the backstretch. Riley Goodnow continues to show the way. Cale Thomas in that second spot. Riley Goodnow, Cale Thomas, Caleb Henry, Casey Jetterzek, Trey Jacobs, Max Stamball starting to reel in Jacobs for that final transfer position. Everybody around the cushion in 3 and 4, middle of the racetrack in 1 and 2. This type of racetrack is a mechanic's nightmare, but also they're the ones going to be responsible for trying to get all that 410 cubic inches down on the racetrack as the white flag goes in the air. Here comes Cale Thomas, going to try the bottom of the racetrack in 3 and 4. But Riley Goodnow gets the win. Cale Thomas in second. Caleb Henry third, Casey Jetterzak fourth, Trey Jacobs puts it in the show. So your top 5 moving to tonight's 30-lap A main. Trey Jacobs comes home 5th, Casey Jetterzak 4th, Caleb Henry 3rd. He'll get into the redraw position by virtue of being the quickest qualifier to transfer. In 2nd to Cale Thomas. And make some noise for the winner of your All Mobility of Dayton Heat Race number 2 out of Knoxville, Iowa, Riley Goodnow.
Real quick, Brian, as much fun as we're having with sprint cars, somebody had a little bit more fun here today. Congratulations to newlyweds, Ryan and Laura Tyson, getting married here today in the parking lot at 1 o'clock.
Hope for many more years to come. That means you got to go to Speedweek every year.
Yes, celebrated at Speedweek every year.
Celebrate your anniversary, yeah. Heat race number 3 brought to you by All Pro Aluminum Cylinder Heads of Johnstown, Ohio. Bob and Susie Williams. Saw them at the Fremont Speedway last night. Schedule to start on the pole. Out of Northport, Florida, in the 29D, Danny Sams III. To his outside, out of Franklin, Indiana, in the 27, Emerson Axum. Row 2, the 35 of Stuart Brubaker out of Helena, Ohio, to the inside of Cole Duncan, your quick qualifier in this heat, out of Circleville, Ohio, in the 22. Row 3, Seth Sabo out of Fremont, in the 29, and Tim Schaefer out of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, in the 49X. Row 4, Dylan Norris out of Hanover, Pennsylvania, in the 17, and TJ Michael out of Plano, Texas, in the 19M. Your last row, Chris Myers out of Caldwell, Ohio, in the 25, and Gage Edgen out of Salina, Ohio, in the 2X. 8 laps, top 5 to the A main. Here we go, side by side out of turn 4, green out. Danny Sams slides up in front of Emerson Axum, crosses over in turns 1 and 2. But Danny Sams grabs the lead. Here comes Cole Duncan in the 22. Look at Stuart Brubaker around the bottom of the racetrack into the 4th spot. Now Zeth Sabo comes alive into the 4th position. Tim Schaefer, the final transfer spot. Out front, Danny Sams. Cole Duncan moves into the 2nd spot. Emerson Axum tries to fight back to his inside down the backstretch. Danny Sams stretches his legs down the backstretch. Complete lap number 3. Cole Duncan from 4th to 2nd. Emerson Axum in 3rd. Zeth Sabo 4th. Tim Schaefer in that final transfer spot. Keep an eye on the 25 of Chris Myers, started on the tail of this one. Chris Myers challenging for the 6th spot. Danny Sams, Cole Duncan, Emerson Axum, Zeth Sabo, Tim Schaefer. Your top 5. Stuart Brubaker in the 6th spot. Chris Myers 7th. TJ Michael, Dylan Norris, and Gage Edgen round out the field. Tim Schaefer puts the wheel to the inside of Seth Sabo, trying to get that 4th position. Every spot a row up in tonight's A main. Danny Sams to the white flag. Sams out of turn 4 will take the heat race win. Cole Duncan 2nd. Emerson Axum 3rd. Zeth Sable 4th. Tim Schaefer, your top 5 going into tonight's A main. So your top 5 making it in tonight's A main. Tim Schaefer comes home in that 5th spot. Zeth Sable 4th. Emerson Axum 3rd. He's eligible for the redraw. Is your quickest qualifier in that heat to make a transfer spot. Cole Duncan comes home 2nd and makes some noise for the winner of your All-Pro Aluminum Cylinder Heads heat race number 3 out of Northport, Florida. What do you say for Danny Sams? 4th and final heat race brought to you by Victory Fuel. We'll line up with Creed Kemenaw out of Elvado, Ohio, in the 15K on the pole. To his outside, out of Leduc, Alberta, Canada, in the 99 Skylar G. Row 2, Zane DeVault out of Plymouth, Indiana, in the 4 to the inside of Cap Henry, your quick qualifier in this heat, out of Republic, Ohio, in the 33W. Row 3, Lee Jacobs out of Holmesville, Ohio, in the 81, the inside of Jordan Charge, out of Melton, Victoria, Australia, in the 60. Row 4, Jake Hessen out of Marysville, Ohio, in the 5J, and Ricky Peterson out of Rawson, Ohio, in the 2. And your last row, Tyler Gunn from Melinto, Ohio, in the 68G, and McKenna Hassey out of Franklin, Indiana, in the 55T. Robert Penrod with the green flag in hand for the 4th and final heat race. Side by side, they fire. Look out in turns 1 and 2. Wow. Slicing and dicing. And Creed Kemenaw going to lead the first lap over Zane DeVault and Cap Henry. Skylar G in that 4th spot. Lee Jacobs. Oh, Ricky Peterson climbs the right rear of Lee Jacobs. Lucky he didn't go over. Wow. And he's still moving. And now he stops. Correct. We did get a lap in, so it'd be a single file restart. Well, the bad part for Ricky Peterson is he will go to the tail, but the good part was that had the potential of being disastrous. Whenever you climb a tire on another sprint car or open wheel car, usually ends up with somebody getting upside down. Creed Kemenah having quite the start to Ohio Sprint Speedweek. First 2 nights, he made the dash with the high car counts. Led a lot of laps over at Attica Raceway Park on Friday, the son of the Hall of Famer Chad Kemenah. Zane DeVault and the Lanes have been doing a lot of racing this year. Zane DeVault won back-to-back features on split feature night at the Fremont Speedway a couple weeks ago. Got a $1,000 bonus for that. Got a win up at Butler Speedway in Quincy, Michigan. Cap Henry coming off the win at Attica Raceway Park. He has 2 wins at Attica, 1 at Fremont. Lead defending track champion of both tracks. Green out, here we go. Zane DeVault takes a peek the inside of Creed Kemenah, but he opens the door for Cap Henry to slide underneath. Look at Cap Henry in the bottom of the racetrack. His crew chief, Zach Myers, has the 33W hooked up. Creed Kemenah continues the lead. Cap Henry in second spot. Zane DeVault third. Skylar G fourth. Lee Jacobs, your 5th and final transfer position. Kemenah, Henry, DeVault, G, Jacobs. Here comes the 60 of Jordan Charge. Charge to the rear bumper of Lee Jacobs for that final transfer position. He'll go up to the fence in turns 3 and 4. Diamond off the corner. Takes a peek to the inside of Lee Jacobs. He'll drive it in hard in 1 and 2. Can't get the pass. Loses valuable real estate out of turn 2. Creed Kemenah pulling away from Cap Henry. Now a race for third. Zane DeVault and Skylar G. Creed Kemenah way up top in turns 3 and 4. He'll take the white flag. Here comes G, the inside of Zane DeVault for that third spot. He'll take it into 1 and 2. Jake Hessen pulls to the infield in the 5J. Checkered flag in the air for Creed Kemenah. Cap Henry will come home second. Skylar G third. Zane DeVault fourth. And Lee Jacobs in that 5th and final transfer position. So finishing 5th will be Lee Jacobs, putting it in the show. Zane DeVault in 4th. Skylar G 3rd. He'll go to the redraw by virtue of being the fast qualifier in this heat to transfer. Coming home second, Cap Henry. Make some noise for the winner of your Victory Fuel Heat Race number 4 out of Elvado, Ohio. How about it for Creed Kemenah? Christian, you're up now. Midgets.
Yeah, first of 3 heat races for the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets on track now. Heat race number 1 presented by Performance Electronics, also our series sponsor, Performance Electronics. Performance Electronics Ltd. is an ECU manufacturer based in Cincinnati, Ohio, founded in 1999. Performance Electronics specializes in engine controllers for most internal combustion engines. They offer a complete line of standalone ECUs, digital dash displays, and sensors for engine swaps. For more information on Performance Electronics, visit pe.ltd.com. Here is the starting lineup for Performance Electronics Heat Race number 1 for the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. Row number 4 on the outside out of North Webster, Indiana, it's Keith Owsley. And to his inside out of Delphus, Ohio, driving the Interstate Truck Source, Advanced Building Corporation, Ollie's Mobile Repairs, Selking International, National Warehouse Logistics, Cisco Realty, Stream Realty, M&M Autos, Blinks and Things, American Dream Autosport. It's the 55 of Paige Perrine. Row number 3 on the outside out of Troy, Ohio, driving the White Hat Industrial, Harlow Builders, Primary Eye Care, Carbright, CertaPro Painters. It's the 55S of Braden Schwartz. Into his inside out of Russia, Ohio, driving the Sniper Racing, LT Siding and Window, Napa Auto Parts of Brian, VMS Motorsports, Emerson Cigar Lounge. It's the Zero Age of Bryce Deuce. Row number 2 on the outside out of Anna, Ohio, driving the Thrill Seeker LLC, Briggs Farms, Russell Moore, Superior Bearing Supply, Ashley Elizabeth Photography, Rosewood Machine and Tool, Patrick's Pub and Grill, White's Honda and Toyota. It's the 71B of Stratton Briggs. Third starter out of Zanesville, Indiana, driving the Boxel Merkler Racing, Spike Chassis, Bennick Enterprise, Engler, Simpson, Motorcraft, Lynn Cook, Midwest Dyno Service, Indy Racing Images. It's the 44JB of Jacob Boxel. Front row on the outside out of Troy, Ohio, driving the Summit Industrial Flooring, Carbright, State Farm Creative Labels, Double J Construction, Flyer Life Groups, Roofs Painting, American Advanced Assemblies. It's the 35 of B-Mass, Bryce Massengill. And on the pole for heat race number 1, presented by Performance Electronics out of Cedarville, Ohio, driving the Irwin Chrysler Team Taylor Racing. It's the 11T of Ryan Fleming. 8 cars. 8 laps. Bryce Massengill, 2-time runner-up in the point standings on the outside of the front row. On the inside is Ryan Fleming out of Troy, Ohio. Jacob Boxel still looking for his first career win in the 44JB on the inside of row number 2. Former champion Stratton Briggs on the outside of row number 2. Bryce Deuce, Braden Schwartz, Paige Perrine, and Keith Owsley as the green flag comes out for Performance Electronics heat race number 1. Bryce Massengill takes the higher line around. He will lead off of turn number 2. That's Stratton Briggs behind him. Jacob Boxel running third. Pole setter Ryan Fleming followed back to the 5th position. Briggs looking to the inside off of 4. Can't make the pass. Bryce Massengill will lead lap number 1. All drivers going to the top of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2 with the exception of Braden Schwartz, the first car running a little lower around the racetrack. Jacob Boxel venturing up against the wall in turns 3 and 4, trying to use that momentum to close in on the 71 of Stratton Briggs. Bryce Massengill, your race leader. Top 3 will go to a redraw. Top 3 will redraw for starting positions 1 through 9 in tonight's 20 lap A main. Jacob Boxel closing in on the 71 of Stratton Briggs. Good battle for that second position. Again, those top 3 as of now will redraw. Stratton Briggs looks at the inside, can't make the pass off of 4 as Bryce Massengill continues to lead. Bryce Massengill, that blue number 35, a 2-time winner this season with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midget. Stratton Briggs again to the inside, running lower, doing a really good job in turns 3 and 4, but Bryce Massengill still has that momentum. Now here comes Boxel. Boxel slides across the nose of Stratton Briggs. They're side by side on the backstretch. Jacob Boxel now to 2nd, Briggs back to 3rd. Briggs back to the inside, trying to come back underneath. Nearly makes contact off of turn number 4 as Boxel holds on to 2nd. Jacob Boxel, the 44JB, still looking for that first ever win with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. As the white flag comes out for the 35 of Bryce Massengill. Stratton Briggs closing back in on the 44JB. Now those 3 cars will redraw for positions 1 through 3. Briggs looking back to the inside. Jacob Boxel will hold on to 2nd as Bryce Massengill picks up the heat race win. So unofficial finishing order for Performance Electronics heat race number 1. Finishing 8th was the 14 of Keith Owsley, 7th to the 55 of Paige Perrine, 6th to the 55S of Braden Schwartz, 5th to the 11T of Ryan Fleming, 4th to the 0H of Bryce Deuce. Top 3 will redraw for positions 1 through 9 for the A main leader on tonight. Finishing 3rd was the 71 of Stratton Briggs. 2nd to the 44JB of Jacob Boxel, and picking up the heat race win for Performance Electronics heat race number 1. It's the 35 of B-Mass, Bryce Massengill. Bryce Massengill picking up the win in heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 for Stifel Home and Auto heat race number 2 on track now. And this is their starting lineup. Scheduled to start on the outside of row number 4 out of Pickwill, Ohio. It's the 40 of Jason Schaefer. Inside of row number 4 out of Findlay, Ohio, driving the Brian Bryken Home Improvements, Injector Expert, Smoky Designs by Andy, Napa Auto Parts of Brian, Ohio, AngryDuck.com, Schley Products, Inc. It's the X of Andy Martin. Row number 3 on the outside out of Ottawa, Ohio, driving the Heitzman Family Farms, Hancock Wood Electric Cooperative, and Gola Screen Printing. It's the 01 of Ryan Moran. And his inside out of Brookville, Ohio, driving the Advanced Racing Suspension, Clayton Auto Parts, Dwayne Nybert Custom Trailers. It's the 7M of Cole Morgan. Row number 2 on the outside out of Delphus, Ohio, driving the OEM Auto Recyclers, Pits and Burger Supply, T-Graphics Helmet Painting, Kurtz, Ford and Lincoln, Rustic Cafe, Serenity and Speed Photography, VMS Speed Photography, Bell Helmets. It's the 22 of Gunnar Lucius. Inside of row number 2 out of Dillsboro, Indiana, driving the Fedorchuk Racing, Carvings by Joe Whitler, Rubber Band Wallets, CP Mobile Shrink Wrap. It's 21R of Kayla Rell. Row number 2 on the your front row, on the outside out of Piqua, Ohio, it's the 10 of Thomas Briggs. And on the pole for Stifle Home and Auto Heat Race number 1 out of Waterford, Michigan, driving the CP Mobile Shrink Wrap, Fedora Truck Racing, Terrell Electric, Haslick Trucking, Matrix Designs, Metro Lakes, 17 Fab, Thompson Property Services. It's the 49P of Carl Peterson. So 8 cars, 8 laps.
Let's just go through the midget heats, the race saver heats, and then you've got about 8 minutes to do something while they're doing the redraw.
Kayla Rell on the inside of row number 2, young lady out of Indiana.
Lights out, guys, lights out.
She was the MSCS champion and Rookie of the Year a year ago. Also a state competitor in wrestling, Kayla Rell is. So Carl Peterson and Thomas Briggs on the front row. Kayla Rell, Gunnar Lucius, row number 2. Cole Morgan, Ryan Moran, row number 3. Andy Martin all alone in row number 4. Green flag is out. Again, in 8 laps in distance, all cars transferred. Top 3 will go to the redraw to determine positions 1 through 9. Carl Peterson leads the way down the backstretch. Kayla Rell running second. 3 wide for that 4th position. That's Gunnar Lucius on the inside, sliding 2 cars. Coming back to the inside is Ryan Moran. Moran to the inside of Lucius, battling for 4, slides up. Lucius back to the inside. Moran keeps that momentum. Now looking to the inside of Thomas Briggs. Battle for 3rd, battle for the final redraw position. Ryan Moran is now the final redraw driver. Ryan Moran goes to the top of the racetrack. We'll see if he can close in on the 21 of Kayla Rell. Kayla Rell, a former winner with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets at US 24 Speedway over in Logansport, Indiana. Carl Peterson, the Michigan driver. Kayla Rell, the Indiana driver. And Ryan Moran, the Ohio driver, are your top 3. Up in the loose stuff is Kayla Rell, able to keep the car pointing in the right direction. Now closing in is Ryan Moran in the 0-1. Gunnar Lucius still running 4th. No change behind him as it's Thomas Briggs in 5th and Cole Morgan in 6th. Carl Peterson continuing to lead the way, starting on that pole. Seems beneficial for these first 2 heat races. Bryce Massagill picked up heat race number 1. Carl Peterson leading heat race number 2. Ryan Moran closing in even more on the 21 of Kayla Rell as the white flag flies this time by for Carl Peterson. Good battle for 2nd. We're going to take the same line in turns 1 and 2. Carl Peterson gets around the lap car, the X of Andy Martin. I believe that's a lightning sprint, Andy Martin. Carl Peterson off at turn number 4. He'll pick up heat race number 2 win. Kayla Rell will hold on to 2nd. Ryan Moran 3rd. Unofficial finish for Stifle Home and Auto heat race number 2. Finishing 7th was the X of Andy Martin, 6th to the 7M of Cole Morgan, 5th to the 10 of Thomas Briggs, 4th to the 22 of Gunnar Lucius. Top 3 finishers will go to tonight's redraw to determine positions 1 through 9. Finishing 3rd was the 0-1 of Ryan Moran, 2nd to the 21R of Kayla Rell, and picking up the heat race win out of Waterford, Michigan, it's the 49P of Carl Peterson. Hoosier Auto Race fans, heat race number 3. On track now, final heat race for the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. And their lineup is as follows, scheduled to start all alone in row number 5 out of Columbus, Ohio. Driving the Hinchman uniforms, locked in benefits, it's the 3E of Alex Watson. Row number 4 on the outside, out of Findlay, Ohio, driving the CW&R Motorsports, Warlock Enterprises, Stump Monkey Customs, it's the 7R of Larry Rice. Inside of row number 4 out of Ludlow Falls, Ohio, driving the Heitmeyer Concrete, Ohio Logistics, Hawk Racing 74, it's the Ohio Hammer, Luke Hall. Row 3 on the outside is the 32 of Tyler Kalb. Row number 3 on the inside out of Rushville, Indiana, driving the Market Street Auto King Garage, ASC Graphics, Linda and Paul Peterson, 34, it's Tate Martz. Second row on the outside out of Manila, Indiana, driving the Aerial Solutions, Navita Solutions, Michiana Tree Works, U.S. Lawns of Terre Haute, Urban Air, Ultimate Predator Boats, Paradise Pools, Peak Performance Gym, Caden Wells Racing. It's the 5 of Matt Lux. Inside of row number 2, current points leader for the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets out of Greencastle, Indiana. Driving the curb records, TJ Forge, FK Roddins, Impact Racing, Competition Suspension, Racing Optics, Neil Tire. It's the 63 of Cale Coons. Front row on the outside out of Cox Creek, Kentucky, in car number 10, it's Chet Gerke. And on the pole for Hoosier Auto Race Fans Heat Race number 3 out of Covington, Ohio, driving the Brew House drive-through, Donners Bay Resort, Sidex Performance Powder Coating 36, it's Ian Krieger. Looks like 9 drivers scheduled to make the start in Hoosier Auto Race Fans Heat Race number 3. 3E of Alex Watson didn't get a lap in qualifying, pulled it into the infield with some issues with that car, but back out there for the heat race. He'll start tail. He's a 3-time front row starter this year in our A mains. Alex Watson hasn't made all the shows, but the shows that he has competed in, he's been very competitive in, so we'll see what he can do from the 9th position for heat race number 3. Ian Krieger, Chet Gerke, Cale Coons, Matt Lux, Tate Martz, Tyler Cow, Blue Call, Larry Rice, and Alex Watson. Ian Krieger's going to lead the field into turn number 1. Now quickly to the inside as Cale Coons comes up the racetracks, makes contact. Believe that's Chet Gerke he made contact with. And Gerke's going to come to a stop at top of turn number, maybe. Ian Krieger will lead lap number 1. Cale Coons second as he tries to hold off Matt Lux. And now the yellow flag will come out. Chet Gerke in car number 10. That's who the caution is out for, a former winner with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. So Cale Coons in the 63. Current points leader, picked up the win 2 Fridays ago at Moeller Raceway Park for his first win of the season, second career win with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets, and then the 5 of Matt Lux was tonight's VMS QuickTime qualifier. Matt Lux currently running in 3rd after starting 4th. He has wins at Eldora and Lincoln Park this year. Matt Lux actually a 2-time winner at Eldora Speedway with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. So 1 lap scored, 7 left to be raced. Ian Krieger will lead the field back to the restart cone in turn number 4. Green flag. And again, top 3 will go to tonight's redraw. Ian Krieger leads the field back into turn number 1. Closing in quickly is the 63 of Cale Coons. Has a good run down the backstretch. Matt Lux right behind him as well. Cale Coons at the inside of Krieger for the race lead. Way up against the wall is Luke Hall trying to make some passes. Side by side for second. Matt Lux trying to get around Ian Krieger. Ian Krieger back on the pedal, trying to close back in on Cale Coons, who took the lead a lap ago. Coons down to the bottom of the racetrack. No surprise to see Cale Coons, son of Jerry Coons Jr., running the inside in turns 3 and 4. Matt Lux falling back to 4th after running 2nd. Luke Hall, the first driver to venture up the racetrack, running in that 5th position as he tries to use that momentum to get around the 5 of Matt Lux. So good 3-car battle for that final redraw position. Currently being held by the 34 of Tate Martz. Tate Martz 4th in the point standings with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets as he tries to close in on the 36 of Ian Krieger. Cale Coons pulling away, looking to win back-to-back races with the Midwest Thunder Midgets. Goes over the banking. Here comes Ian Krieger. Trouble for your race leader. Ian Krieger now to the race lead. Cale Coons going to fall back to 5th, maybe 6th, as the white flag is going to fly. And not only did he lose the race lead, he lost that redraw position as well. If he would have stayed in that top 3 after making that mistake, he would still have a chance. Ian Krieger down the backstretch now, the race leader. Tate Martz now up to 2nd. And Luke Hall started deep in the field up to 3rd. All cars at the bottom of the racetrack off of turn number 4. Ian Krieger will pick up the win. So unofficial finish for heat race number 3. Finishing 9th was the 7R of Larry Rice, 8th to the 3E of Alex Watson, 7th to the 10G of Chet Gerke, 6th to the 32 of Tyler Cow, 5th to the 63 of Cale Coons, 4th to the 5 of Matt Lux. top 3 finishers will go to tonight's redraw. Finishing third was the 74 of Luke Hall, second to the 34 of Tate Martz, and picking up Hoosier Auto Race Fans Heat Race number 3 win. In car number 36, it's Ian Krieger. So that concludes Heat Race competition for the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. I believe Jerry is next with the 305 sprint cars.
Thank you, Christian. The Ohio Thunder IMCA Race Saver 305 is up next. Heat race number 1 lines up like this. On the pole out of Taylorsville, Kentucky, the 67B of Dylan Baldwin. To his outside out of Stoutsville, Ohio, the number 25. That is Wyatt Justice. Justice, the feature winner last night at the 35 Raceway down in Frankfort, Ohio. Row number 2 on the inside out of Bruceville, Indiana, the 11R of Blaine Ridgely. To his outside out of Chillicothe, Ohio, your quick time driver tonight. That is the 79 of Chris Miller. Row number 3 on the inside out of Salem, Indiana, it's Ashton Thompson. To his outside out of West Jefferson, Ohio, that's Louis Christian in the 8C. Your 4th and final row looks like this. On the inside out of Grand Lake, Michigan, the 14A of Alex Clute. And to his outside out of West Salem, Ohio, the number 9 of Matt Warner. 8 laps the distance. All drivers will transfer to the main. Trouble for Chris Miller. Chris Miller pulls off the track into the work area. They just put a new rear end in that machine. So heartbreak for your quick time driver tonight. Field shown 1 to go. Rob Penrod up in the flag stand tonight, waving the sticks for us. Dylan Baldwin, Wyatt Justice, row 1. Blaine Ridgely and Louis Christian now in row 2. Row 3 is Ashton Thompson and Matt Warner, and Alex Clute rounds out the field. Looking. Green flag waves. We are underway. Dylan Baldwin, a slide up into the point. Takes a lead down the back straightaway, followed by the 25 of Wyatt Justice. Justice will head to the bottom in turns 3 and 4. Side by side for the lead at the line. Right now, Baldwin has it. Justice wants it. Blaine Ridgely runs third in the 11R. Fourth right now, the 8C of Louis Christian. It's all Dylan Baldwin out front over Wyatt Justice. Blaine Ridgely, Louis Christian. Ashton Thompson in the 5th spot as the field strings out. Matt Warner runs 6th in the 9 car, and 7th is the 14A of Alex Clute. This time by cross flags in the air. 4 laps complete, 4 remaining for your race leader, Dylan Baldwin out of Taylorsville, Kentucky. Baldwin able to slide up into the point on lap 1 and not looking back as now the field is single file, stretched out all the way, 3/4 of the way around the racetrack. Baldwin clicking off laps. 14-1. Trouble over in turn 4. Ashton Thompson loops it out, and the 9 of Matt Warner spins to try to avoid him, makes a little bit of contact. Like we talked about earlier, the breezy conditions along with the sun beating down on the track. Hard to keep up with the track prep, working hard today. Dylan Baldwin, your race leader in the 67B with 6 laps complete, 2 remaining in this one. Wyatt Justice in the 2nd spot in the 25. Again, Justice picking up the feature win at the 35 Raceway Park in Frankfort, Ohio last night. 3rd is 11R of Blaine Ridgely. Originally out of Bruceville, Indiana. Regular with the Indiana Race Saver Sprints. So Ashton Thompson able to refire. Matt Warner as well. They'll rejoin the field from the back. And we will get back underway here with your Ohio Thunder IMCA Race Saver Sprints. Field shown 1 to go at the flag stand. Caution lights will go out. We'll try it again out of turn number 4. 6 laps complete, 2 remaining here in your Ohio Thunder IMCA Race Saver Sprints. Heat race number 1.
I knew what, that's why you went 8 minutes. You have time to go down, take your rinse, and back up.
Field at a crawl into turns 3 and 4. Green flag back in the air. We are back underway. Looks like a jump for Matt Warner in the number 9. The white flag waves. Dylan Baldwin out front. Wyatt Justice second. Blaine Ridgely third. Louis Christian fourth. Matt Warner right now scored in 5th, but obviously looking at a 2-spot penalty at the end of this one. Checkered flag waves. Give it to Baldwin. Followed by Wyatt Justice. Third will be Blaine Ridgely. 4th, Louis Christian. 5th, Matt Warner. 6th, Alex Clute. Ashton Thompson scored 7th. Again, that number 9 of Matt Warner jumping on the restart, so he will be docked 2 spots. So with that said, picking up the win in heat race number 1 for your Ohio Thunder IMCA Race Saver Sprints, the number 67B out of Taylorsville, Kentucky, it's Dylan Baldwin. Second goes to Wyatt Justice out of Stoutsville, Ohio in the 25. Third is the 11R of Blaine Ridgely. 4th, the 8C of Louis Christian. 5th, the 14A of Alex Clute. 6th, the 23T of Ashton Thompson. And Matt Warner will be scored 7th. We get ready to go with heat race number 2. While we do that, want to give a shout out to my buddy Carson Bowser. He didn't care about that wedding earlier. We should be excited he's here. Carson, a great little go-kart racer over at the Cratersville Speedway. Glad to have you here, Carson. As we get ready for heat race number 2, lineup looks like this. On the pole, out of Xenia, Ohio, in the number 94, it's Jacob Stickle. To his outside, out of New Lebanon, Ohio, the 21G of Roman Gephardt. Carson Dillon lines up inside row number 2 out of Terre Haute, Indiana. To his outside, the 22H of Rod Henning out of Middletown. Row number 3 on the inside out of Marysville, Ohio, the 11J of James Moore. To his outside out of Columbus, Ohio, the 44 of Jason Young. Todd Hinton lines up inside row number 4 out of Worcester, Ohio, in the number 18. And rounding out the field out of Waynesville, Ohio, the 51 of Chase Baker. 8 laps the distance. All cars going to tonight's A main for your Ohio Thunder IMCA Race Saver Sprint cars. Green flag waves. We are underway. Roman Gephardt will get ahead of steam on the outside. He'll take the race lead down the back straightaway. Hot Rod Henning will fall into second, followed by Jacob Stickle. Stickle gets tight, turns around. The 44 of Jason Young goes around at the same time. A little bit of synchronized spinning. The Russian judge gives him a 6. Once again, that's the number 94, Jacob Stickle, that yellow car, starting that spin, and then behind him, the 44 of Jason Young going around as well, right at the same time. Roman Gephardt with a great start up on the outside, able to charge to the lead. Rod Henning following suit in the number 22. And Rod Henning, multi-time feature winner here at the Waynesfield Raceway Park in lightning sprint action over the years. Henning also has a feature win this year in the 305s on March 4th at Atomic.
That's up to you. If you want to, we can take a lap off.
Do that. Single file? Yeah. Let's see if it will count.
Just go. It'll be
You'll be all right. You got a whole race yet.
Ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Guys, lights out.
Roman Gephardt, your race leader in the 21. Followed by the 22 of Rod Henning. Third is the number 83 of Carson Dillon. As we come back to the green flag here out of turn 4, we are back underway. Gephardt once again very strong off turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Resumes his lead over Hot Rod Henning. Now Carson Dillon trying to look to the inside of Hot Rod Henning. Out of turn 4, fourth right now the 11J of James Moore, followed by Todd Hinton in the 18. Jacob Stickle, the 51 now of Chase Baker, makes a move around Hinton. He'll move up to that 5th spot. Roman Gephardt pulling away out front. Cross flags in the air. 4 laps in. 4 remaining for Gephardt. Rod Henning continuing to run second, the number 22. Third is the 83 of Carson Dillon. Gephardt's lead now stabilizing at about 0.8 of a second. We'll see what it looks like this time by. Still right about that 0.8 marker. Gephardt closing in on lap traffic here as the laps wind down. The white flag will wave this time. One more time around for Roman Gephardt in the number 21. Rod Henning closed in, knocked a 10th off of it that lap, but running out of time. Final time through turns 3 and 4. Roman Gephardt down on the bottom. Here comes Rod Henning. Tries to make it interesting. Checkered flag. Give it to Gephardt, followed by Henning. Third will be the 83 of Carson Dillon. Fourth, 11J of James Moore. Fifth, the 51 of Chase Baker. The 94 Jacob Stickle will be sixth, followed by the 18 of Todd Hinton and the 44 of Jason Young. That will do it for heat race action here tonight at Waynesfield Raceway Park. Congratulations.